know from Kolkata, there is a sense that Bhadralok people who are no longer, at one point of time, who were very pro Mamata Banerjee, when they got very disgruntled with the left, they are also now increasingly disgruntled with the Mamata Banerjee government. And that is where I think the Sandesh Khali issue can play that mind game, because here you have a party which talks about, Ma Mati Manush. So where is the Mati? And the second thing, of course, is the woman factor. I mean, Mamata Banerjee won the last assembly elections on the ground that here is a lonely woman who's being targeted by the BJP. Then, they're going to start pricking holes and start questioning it, that if you talk about women empowerment, Nari Shakti, then why was this happening in Sandesh Khali and you just let it happen? That could have a certain amount of impact on the urban areas, but let's not forget also, I mean, she's also very strategically put up candidates, Shayoni Ghosh, a firebrand, youth TMC leader, all of that. She's also going to try and play on that. So Sandesh Khali, I think, would be a bit of a benchmark and an important factor, and that's where this whole woman empowerment issue also starts coming in. And as Shivani pointed out, North Bengal, even the BJP did well last time round. The Matua community, the CAA, all of that is going to have certainly, I think, kind of strengthen or cement the BJP's hold in that area.
Well, let's go across to, before we bring in Aman and go across to our guest, let's go to Vigyan Bhawan. Payal and Arunima are with us. Payal, what's happening? We believe that the election commissioners were busy watching a cricket match this morning, or they were guests at a cricket match that was played between the media at the DDCA and another entity. That was another grouping. So have they left that place? Were they relaxed? What do we have? What's the inside story?
Well, I wasn't there at the cricket match for sure, but they would be in fact playing one of the biggest matches of their careers right now, with so much of anticipation being looked forward to as far as the 2024 elections are concerned. And it's going to be a debut match for at least Gyanesh and of course for Mr. Sandhu, because they've just made that, they've just been appointed to the Team India a couple of days ago, to put it across in the cricket analogy. And they basically have to now deliver the goods. They, of course, will be sitting by the side of the Chief Election Commissioner as the dates really gets announced. And it's going to be a huge task to see how this election really transpires. There's so much to look forward to. There's so much of acrimony between the ruling party and the opposition party. The Election Commission has also not been left out of it. We'll have to just wait and see how this transpires, because it's going to be quite a bit of talking that the Election Commissioner will do. We'll tell you what preparations have been made, how many places did they visit, what are the key areas to watch out for, what is the security setup, how many booths have been set up. All of this will be there before they actually come to the point that we are looking forward to is, of course, the dates. Well,
Vigyan Bhawan visuals coming through. We're putting it there, ladies and gentlemen. Have a look. The brand ambassador for the Election Commission, he's there out sending the vote. Ki jao vote karo, ungli kar, because this is your right. That's what he's going out and saying, very popular with the masses. And that's why perhaps he's been roped in by the Election Commission to champion the message of going out to vote. Every vote counts. And then we can see the waiting media press already ready for the briefing. Arunima is also with us. Arunima, quick aside, yes, we're wearing multiple hats, also tracking the court developments with respect to K. Kavita carefully. The order has been reserved till 4:30 p.m. So poll dates will be announced and then that order will be announced. There will be a lot of drama over the course of next 2 hours, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And even the issue of the transit remand has also been addressed by the ED in court. So multiple developments. How much of all of that is going to have a bearing on these poll dates?
Well, Election Commission in its press conference will not focus on anything but their own preparations. We've been given a lowdown by the spokesperson of ECI as to how the day will progress. Around 3 o'clock sharp, ECI, accompanied by the two election commissioners, will come into the plenary hall of the Vigyan Bhawan. That's the hall on my left. And there will be a presentation first being made by the CEC. This presentation will encapsulate their travel across India. It will encapsulate what is the kind of step that the ECI is taking to ensure that there's maximum voter turnout. The number of voters, of course, have gone up from 2019. The number of paramilitary forces deployed also up by at least 50,000. Last time there was about 3 lakh, this time approximately 3,50,000. This is not just about Lok Sabha elections, it's also about assembly elections, Andhra, Arunachal, Sikkim and Odisha, and all important, whether Jammu and Kashmir will finally see legislative assembly elections. Like I was telling you earlier, the indications that we are getting is that as far as security is concerned, ECI has been told that when you do a legislative assembly elections in Kashmir, the number of candidates who need foolproof security is much more.
Yes.
Having spread across paramilitary forces across the country for Lok Sabha, why put a burden on the paramilitary forces by aiming to do Lok Sabha and Assembly together in Kashmir? So that's one of the logic that has been put to them, indicating perhaps that right now, today, we'll only hear about Lok Sabha elections for JK also. They have time till September 30th. That's the Supreme Court deadline to hold the Assembly elections there.
True. September 30th is the deadline. I keep saying 5th of August is an important date. Along with the security deployment, the mood will also be important, and the Lok Sabha polls will have an impact. How peacefully they are conducted, the number of people who come out to vote, it will instill confidence within the people of Jammu and Kashmir, who largely have abstained from voting, ladies and gentlemen. 5-6% voter turnouts have decided MPs to the parliament, which perhaps has been a travesty in the past. It's all changing this time around, and we'll see the results. But how many stages will Jammu and Kashmir poll in? How many phases will Bharat go to the polls in? All of this will be decided, and it's counting down. Just about 22 minutes to go. We take yet another break, and when we come back, it will be non-stop coverage of the poll dates, and then, of course, the court reserving its order at 4:30 p.m. It's just non-stop action, politically hot Saturday. Stay with us in this battle for Bharat. Why we are making it such a big festival, this dance of democracy, ladies and gentlemen. Shivani, if you look at 2019, there is lots to look at. 7 phases the last time around. What should we expect this time?
Well, we are expecting, of course, the announcement is going to be elections spanned over 7, phases itself. I just want to quickly look at, the All India map from 2019. Of course, the BJP won a whopping 303 seats at that time. You mentioned how the Prime Minister has set an even stiffer target of 370 just for the BJP. If they do that, then with the alliances they have shaped up this time around, Anand, they will cross 400 because, they have managed to get a lot of alliance partners, some back and some are still in the works. But look at this map of India. This was virtually all saffron. The Prime Minister, led by Narendra Modi, leading the BJP, wants to repeat this, but they want to repeat this even in a bigger fashion. Look at the numbers for the opposition here, 52 for the Congress. Of course, together, I just want to break this down into alliances as well. This is how we've broken this down into the alliances as it stands today. So, of course, without the SAD, but with the TDP back, it's still 353 for the NDA, a vote percentage of 47%. Versus 30% for the INDIA alliance, which is a big gap. It's a big gap for them to cover. 129 seats for them. The alliances, as they have stitched up, as it stands, we've all included it. So this gives you an idea of how they are actually wanting to defend this much and add to 129. The DMK, TMC, the UBD faction of the Shiv Sena, the NCP, what is remaining Sharad Pawar faction with them, all included in this. Similarly, for the NDA, we've done the similar exercise. Their current alliances are part of it. Now, the big thing is, Anand, look at the map of the NDA. It's virtually all saffron. Where can they gain? Now, this is that stretch where they can gain. And this is exactly where everyone's eyes are. This is exactly where the Prime Minister is focusing his energies as we speak. So this, the western and the southern part of India, is where the BJP is looking to add on to, and of course, together with that, just retain this weight of North and West and Central India.
We'll come back to these numbers and juxtapose them with the News 18 Mega Opinion Poll because some interesting observations. But first, let's focus on the poll date. Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's the big battle for Bharat. The date, result day, will be determined in just about a few hours. Back on, ladies and gentlemen, we are counting down to the poll dates being announced by the Election Commission. The Election Commissioners should make their way to the Vigyan Bhavan in just about 5 to 7 minutes from now. 18 minutes and counting down to 3 p.m. when the poll date should be announced in Vigyan Bhavan. Media crew, fellow colleagues, our own reporters in the News 18 network, they're all settling in inside the plenary hall of the Vigyan Bhavan. But there's one state that we need to speak about, and that's the state of Maharashtra, before we get to the poll dates, because the scenario has changed. Largely a four-party, two-UT scenario in 2019 with some of the smaller allies. With the BJP and Shiv Sena on the one hand, the NCP and the Congress party on the other. A lot has changed in the last 5 years, ladies and gentlemen. And today, it's quite fragmented. There are 6 to 7. Shiv Sena is into two factions, NCP is into two factions. There is the BJP, there is the Congress, there is the VBA, there is the MNS. Everybody now believes that they've got skin in the game. It's a power race to 48 seats. And many believe that the BJP will return weaker, the NDA will return weaker compared to 2019, although the News 18 mega opinion polls don't say that. Let's go across to the magic wall with Shivani Gupta and understand who holds sway where right now, ladies and gentlemen. The blue areas that are shaded on this beautiful graphic below are the ones which are the Congress areas. The saffron is, of course, the BJP. The Shiv Sena is in the brown, and of course, the NCP in the dark blue. So these are the areas that are shaded. Let's try and understand this and get some more perspective on the wall. Yeah.
So the big question in Maharashtra is exactly who has the stronger faction of the two parties that have become divided, the Sena and the NCP. So I want to begin by showing you the India numbers. This is as things stand today. So we've done the breakup for you. This is not how they fought the elections last time. This is how it stands today with the Congress and the Sena UBT and the NCP Sharad Pawar faction. So these seats in the dark blue are the Sena seats, and there are a couple in the the Mumbai region. So this is where the Sena, as it was for the UBT won last time around, and these of course are the the Sharad Pawar faction seats. Out of 4, these 3 are actually in the INDIA kitty. This is just to give you an idea that out of 4, if it was strength as per last elections, the Sharad Pawar faction is dominant. They won 3 out of those 4 seats. The Ajit Pawar faction has 1, which went to the NDA. And then, of course, is the Sena. Sena won 18. The UBT has 5 on the Congress's side. So while the INDIA may have the stronger NCP faction, at least we can say so right now, they don't have the stronger Sena faction. And I'll just show you very quickly as well, because if you look at the NDA chart, now this is what the NCP Sharad Pawar faction has gone to the NDA. These are the Sena seats gone to the UBT plus 2 in Mumbai. This is the only Ajit Pawar faction seat with the NDA, but all of the other brown, 13 out of those 18 seats that the Sena won last time around are with the NDA kitty. So they've got the stronger Sena partner possibly. Of course, results have to be matched or repeated, but not so much the stronger of the NCP faction. The senior Sharad Pawar, the senior Pawar still very much with the INDA.
Well, 30, 12 and 6, that's what a little bird tells me could be the seat sharing arrangement that's being pushed for by the BJP, because they believe they hold sway there. The Shinde faction gets 12 and 6. And 6 goes to the Ajit Pawar faction. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is speaking in Kalaburgi even as CEC Rajiv Kumar is off to Vigyan Bhavan.
कलबुर्गी का ये जन सैलाब और आप सबके चेहरों का ये उत्साह कर्नाटका ने लोकसभा के चुनाव में बीजेपी को रिकॉर्ड सीटों पर जिताने का संकल्प ले लिया है। अभी मैं हेलीपैड से यहां आ रहा था, इतनी धूप में रोड शो का जो वातावरण बन गया, इतनी बड़ी मात्रा में लोग उत्साह उमंग के साथ आशीर्वाद दे रहे थे। अभी तो चुनाव की घोषणा होना बाकी है और आपने घोषणा कर दी। आज पूरा कर्नाटका कह रहा है अब की बार साथियों, बीते 2 दिनों से मैं भारत के इस दक्षिणी भाग में ही हूं और इसके पहले मैं श्रीनगर में था। श्रीनगर के पत्रकारों ने जो ब्लॉग लिखा है उसमें लिखा है कि 1988 के बाद श्रीनगर में इतनी बड़ी रैली किसी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी की नहीं हुई। जो दृश्य मैंने श्रीनगर में देखा, जो जज्बा देखा भारत के प्रति, भाजपा के प्रति, जो उमंग और उत्साह देखा, साथियों, मैं बड़े विश्वास से कह रहा हूं, देश अपने संकल्पों को पूरा करने के लिए तैयार हो चुका है। और उसके बाद पिछले 2 दिन से दक्षिण भारत में मैंने 4 अलग अलग राज्यों का दौरा किया।
The Election Commission is all set to announce the schedule for the Lok Sabha polls. The Commission will do a press conference at 3 p.m. today and then go about announcing the dates, the phases, the procedure for conducting the big Lok Sabha elections 2024. The EC will also announce the assembly poll schedule for the states of Odisha, Sikkim, Arunachal and Andhra Pradesh. The model code of conduct, which bars the government in power from announcing any new policy decisions, will come into effect immediately after the announcement. Now remember, the Election Commission's announcement comes just 2 days after the Election Commissioners Ganesh Kumar and Sukhbir Singh Sandhu were appointed. They took charge and joined the Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Kumar. So there's been drama on the Election Commission side too, because it's taken some time to complete this 3-member commission. With me in the studio, Shivani Gupta on the magic wall, and we also have Pallavi Ghosh and Aman Sharma tracking the elections closely. Payal Mehta, Arunima will be joining us along with our guests and of course you the viewers, because it's all about us, isn't it? The voter. Let's try and signpost some of the key aspects, some important points that we need to remember, ladies and gentlemen, as we look at building up to the dates announcement. 96.88 crore voters will choose 543 MPs. So it's a bump up, nearly 7 crore voters more than 2019. It's a fractured India.
कर्नाटका में आप लोगों का कांग्रेस के लिए जो आक्रोश है वो मैं भली भांति समझ सकता हूं। कांग्रेस एक ऐसी पार्टी है जो चाहे कितने भी कपड़े बदल ले, कांग्रेस की करतूतें नहीं बदलती। और इसलिए कर्नाटका में जनता जाग चुकी है, आक्रोश और गुस्से से लाल है। किसी सरकार से इतने कम समय में ही जनता का मोहभंग हो जाना ये दिखाता है कि लोगों को कांग्रेस की सच्चाई क्या है इसका पता चल गया है। और कभी कभी लोग भी सोचते हैं कि चलो भाई एक बार सजा दी, अब वो सुधर जाएंगे, दोबारा कुछ अच्छा करेंगे। लेकिन लोग फिर निराश हो, सुधरने को तैयार ही नहीं है भाई। आप कितने मौके दीजिए, वो नहीं सुधरेंगे। आज कर्नाटका में कानून व्यवस्था की धज्जियां उड़ाई जा रही हैं। असामाजिक तत्वों को खुलेआम संरक्षण दे रही है। जनता के मन में खौफ पैदा किया जा रहा है। जनता परेशानियों से त्रस्त है और कांग्रेस लूट में व्यस्त है। साथियों, एक बार कोयले से कालिख दूर हो सकती है, लेकिन कांग्रेस से करप्शन दूर नहीं हो सकता। इन परिवारवादियों के लिए करप्शन ही ऑक्सीजन है। बिना भ्रष्टाचार के ये लोग सियासत में सांस भी नहीं ले सकते। चुनाव से पहले बड़ी बड़ी घोषणाएं करना और चुनाव के बाद सिर्फ अपनी जेबें भरना, यही कांग्रेस का काम है। कर्नाटका को कांग्रेस ने अपना फैमिली एटीएम बना लिया है। पार्टी और परिवार के खर्चे पूरे करने के लिए कर्नाटका की जनता की मेहनत की कमाई यहां से सप्लाई की जा रही है। साथियों, जहां राज्य की सारी पूंजी कुछ लोगों का पेट भरने में, जेब भरने में, तिजोरी भरने में खपने लगती है, वहां सबसे पहले कुशासन, अव्यवस्था और अराजकता चारों तरफ हर स्तर पे फैलना शुरू हो जाती है। इसलिए कांग्रेस ने चुनाव में जो वादे किए थे उन्हें पूरा करना तो दूर, उल्टा कर्नाटका के हालात दिन पर दिन बदहाल होते जा रहे हैं। चुनाव में कांग्रेस ने मुफ्त बिजली का वादा किया था, लेकिन जवाब में जनता को बिजली की कटौती मिली, अंधेरा मिला। आज किसान पूछ रहे हैं कि जब बिजली ही नहीं है तो खेतों में पंप सेट कैसे चलेंगे। इन लोगों ने किसानों से एक और धोखा किया। हर किसान को पता है कि मोदी सरकार यहां के 55 लाख किसानों के लिए पीएम किसान सम्मान निधि के पैसे भेजती है। ये योजना किसानों के लिए वरदान जैसी है। पहले बीजेपी की राज्य सरकार किसानों को इसमें 4,000 रुपये जोड़कर देती थी, लेकिन कांग्रेस वालों ने ये 4,000 रुपये देने का प्रावधान बंद कर दिया। साथियों, ये लोग युवाओं से बड़े बड़े वादे करके सरकार में बैठ गए, लेकिन आज ये उन्हीं युवाओं को उनकी स्कॉलरशिप रोक रहे हैं, स्कॉलरशिप में कटौती कर रहे हैं। ये कांग्रेस ही है जो नौजवानों के हक मारने का पाप कर रही है। कांग्रेस की लूट का हाल ये है कि छोटे छोटे विकास कार्यों के लिए भी सरकार के पास पैसे ही नहीं है। विधायकों को कह दिया गया है कि सरकार के पास पैसे नहीं है, हाथ ऊपर कर दिए। कलबर्गी के मेरे भाइयों बहनों, मुझे बताइए, क्या कोई सरकार ऐसे चल सकती है क्या? चल सकती है क्या? कर्नाटका का भला कर सकती है क्या? आपके सपने पूरे कर सकते हैं क्या? उनके वादे पूरे हो सकते हैं क्या? कांग्रेस भी ये जान चुकी है कि ये दोबारा सरकार नहीं बना पाएंगे, इसलिए कांग्रेस का एक ही एजेंडा बचा है, जितना लूट सको लूटो। क्या आप लूटने देंगे क्या? लूटने देंगे क्या? साथियों, अब राज्य सरकार इस तरह काम कर रही हो, आपको लूट रही हो, तो ये बहुत जरूरी है कि संसद में आपकी आवाज जरूर पहुंचे। कर्नाटका को लूट से बचाने के लिए सांसद के रूप में मुझे एक रक्षा कवच बनाना है, ताकि इन पे निगरानी रहे, हर पल मुझे दिल्ली में खबर रहे और कर्नाटक की जनता के लूटने के कारनामों को मैं रोक पाऊं। जब यहां कर्नाटका में ज्यादा संख्या में बीजेपी सांसद जीतेंगे, तो कांग्रेस की भ्रष्ट सरकार को डर करके रहना पड़ेगा, 7 बार सोचना पड़ेगा कि अब खबरें मोदी को पहुंच रही है। बीजेपी सांसद यहां कांग्रेस के कारनामों को लाख कोशिश करे कांग्रेस वाले, छिपाने नहीं देंगे। और इसलिए मुझे कर्नाटका से ज्यादा बीजेपी सांसदों को आशीर्वाद मिले, जनता जनार्दन के आशीर्वाद मिले, इसलिए मैं आपसे, आपका ये सेवक प्रार्थना करने आया है। सभी सीटों पर भाजपा को जिताएंगे, आप पक्का जोर लगाएंगे, हर पोलिंग बूथ में जाएंगे, बीजेपी की जीत पक्की करेंगे। साथियों, भाजपा ने हमेशा कर्नाटका के विकास के लिए काम किया है। हमने कर्नाटका की पहचान को सम्मान दिया है। मैं दुनिया में जहां भी जाता हूं, मैं लोकतंत्र के उन सिद्धांतों की
Taking the still photographs. Kindly be seated. Thank you. Good morning, friends from the media. आप सबका इस प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में स्वागत है. It's a big day today for all of us at ECI, and I would like to formally welcome you to this press conference to announce the schedule for general elections and some state assemblies. It's my privilege to introduce the Honorable Chief Election Commissioner Shri Rajiv Kumar ji, the Honorable Election Commissioner Shri Ganesh Kumar, and the Honorable Election Commissioner Dr. Sukhbir Singh Sandhu. Also on the dais today are senior officials who have been a part of Team ECI in the past 2 years and have played a crucial role in the run-up to the general elections. Namely, Senior Deputy Election Commissioners Shri Dharmendra Sharma and Shri Nitesh Vyas. Also DECs Shri Udesh Kumar, Shri Ajay Bhadu, Shri R.K. Gupta and Shri Manoj Sahu. Another crucial team member has been DG IT Srimati Neeta Verma. Also on the dais is our Joint Director Media, Anu Chandak, who is familiar to most of you here. I am B. Narayanan, DG Media for the Commission. The format is as follows. There will be opening remarks by the CEC along with the presentation. We will share the PDF copy of the presentation with all of you after this event is over. The PC is also being live streamed on X along with the slides and live streamed on our YouTube and Facebook. Following this PowerPoint, there will be a question and answer session. When you want to ask a question, raise your hand. Wait for a chance to be called by me to put your question. I will direct the mic to come to you. When it's your turn, introduce yourself and your organization and then ask your question. I request you to be brief and ask only one question at a time. Please keep your mobiles on silent mode. Sir, I request you to deliver your opening remarks.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Narayanan. Good afternoon, friends. My recently joined distinguished colleagues, let me introduce you to them. Shri Ganesh Kumar ji on my right and on your left, and Shri Sukhbir Singh Sandhu ji on my left. Senior officials from Election Commission of India, friends from media, और विभिन्न संचार माध्यमों से जुड़े हुए देश के मतदाता, आप सबको सबसे पहले अभिनंदन, नमस्कार. आप सभी का इस प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में स्वागत है. As you see, our team is now complete. All three of us are here and we are fully prepared. So now our request is to all the voters to get inked. Please, the entire team in the ECI is ready to ink the voters. Please join us. I think this is the most awaited press conference in this part of the year. We address you at a precious moment when we as a nation are set to reiterate our pledge to electoral democracy, when Indians will together express their will once again. This is a historic opportunity for all of us. By the way, this year also marks a pivotal moment in the global landscape of democracies. 2024 is a year of elections across the world. Over 5 dozen nations and people will vote across the hemispheres, across the date lines. However, India's elections have been like a pole star, both for its quantity and quality, and I'll elaborate it in detail in this conference. दुनिया के सबसे बड़े और सबसे जीवंत लोकतंत्र के रूप में भारत पर सभी का ध्यान केंद्रित रहता है. जहां चुनाव एक त्योहार है जिसमें लोकतंत्र के रंग उभरते हैं और देश के सभी हिस्से उसमें समावेश होते हैं. चुनाव का पर्व, देश का गर्व. Let me say in the very beginning that it is our promise to deliver a national election in a manner that we add to our global shine and remain a beacon for electoral democracies across the world. We are committed to give the nation a truly festive democratic environment. Friends, the term of 17th Lok Sabha is due to expire on 16th June 24. The term of legislative assemblies of Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Arunachal, Sikkim are also due to expire in June 24. जम्मू कश्मीर असेंबली में भी चुनाव ड्यू हैं. We in the Commission understand with all humility at our command, that every election is a new test and failure is not an option. The entire election machinery has been trained on all aspects of election management. I had myself personally interacted with over 800 district magistrates across the length and breadth of the country. We have interacted with the SPs, DMs, commissioners, range IGs, political parties, enforcement agencies in Delhi and also while visiting the states. और पूरी स्टेट्स में इन सबके साथ समीक्षा करने के दौरान और उसके बाद हमें ये विश्वास है कि हम एक यादगार, स्वतंत्र, निष्पक्ष चुनाव एक पर्व के रूप में सबकी भागीदारी के साथ सुनिश्चित कराएंगे. बिफोर आई शेयर द शेड्यूल, मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि भौगोलिक, सांस्कृतिक, सामाजिक रूप से विविध इतने बड़े देश में चुनाव कराने के लिए हमने अपने आप को कैसे ओवर द 2 years पीरियड तैयार किया है. दुनिया के सबसे बड़े लोकतंत्र के चुनावों में लॉजिस्टिक्स और मटेरियल प्रबंधन ही अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ी चुनौती है. So let us show you what is the magnitude by which we are doing these elections. We have 97 crore registered voters, more than the combined voters of a few continents put together, America, Europe, Australia, all many put together. Over 10.5 lakh polling stations, and कितने लोग उसको conduct करते हैं? 1.5 crore polling officials and security officials conduct those elections. More than 55 lakh EVMs, 4 lakh vehicles, और अब तक हम क्या कर चुके हैं? 17 जनरल इलेक्शंस टू द पार्लियामेंट, 400 से ज्यादा असेंबली इलेक्शंस कर चुके हैं. ये इलेक्शन कमीशन का एक लीगेसी है. 16 प्रेसिडेंशियल इलेक्शंस, 16 वाइस प्रेसिडेंशियल इलेक्शंस, a truly gold standard. It's a gold standard in the entire election management. Friends, there is a qualitative leapfrog which Commission is ensuring, which would be shown by the outcomes of the 11 state elections which we have held recently. पिछले 1.25 साल के अंदर में 11 इलेक्शंस स्टेट असेंबलीज के देश में हुए हैं. और आज जो हम नए तो 2024 में जा रहे हैं, तो इस दृढ़ता के साथ जा रहे हैं कि जो उनके आउटकम्स हैं वो आपको दिखा रहे हैं. पहले वो पीसफुल हुए, वायलेंस फ्री हुए. जो इसमें से 1-2 स्टेट में वायलेंस होती थी, वहां भी वायलेंस नहीं हुई. नियर जीरो रूपोल्स, और कैंपेनिंग जो क्लटर है, जो नॉइज है, जो कैंपेन के दौरान होती है पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज की, उसमें भी घटित देखने को मिली. कोर्ट केसेस रिड्यूस हुए, कोर्ट की टिप्पणियां जो अनावश्यक या हमारे ऊपर में होती थी वो कम हुई. सीजर्स बढ़े, और फेक न्यूज पर एक एक्शन लेने का जो तरीका था वो बहुत बड़ा. तो लास्ट 2 years में इसको और रोबस्ट करने के लिए हमने क्या क्या किया है, ये हम आपको आज दिखाएंगे, और उसको कैसे बेहतर करेंगे ये भी दिखाएंगे. हम कहां पहुंचना चाहते हैं, इस इलेक्शन को किस तरीके से डिलीवर करना चाहते हैं, ये भी आपको लास्ट स्लाइड में दिखाएंगे. अभी जो इलेक्टरल साइकिल है उसमें हमने कितनी तैयारी की है, ये हम आपको आज शेड्यूल बताने से पहले बताना चाहते हैं. अगर देखा जाए तो इनपुट के रूप में हमारा जो इलेक्टरल रोल है वो प्योर होना चाहिए. ये फाउंडेशन है किसी भी अच्छे चुनाव के लिए. उसमें जिसको होना चाहिए वोटिंग में वो है, और जिसको नहीं होना चाहिए वो नहीं है. हमने इलेक्टरल रोल में बहुत मेहनत की है. इनपुट के तौर में मटेरियल, मैन पावर, टेक्नोलॉजी, ट्रेनिंग, इतनी चीजें लगती हैं. प्रोसेस के रूप में जो डिसरप्टिव चैलेंजेस हैं, मसल पावर, मनी पावर, मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन, एमसीसी वायलेशन, और रीचिंग आउट टू द मिसिंग वोटर्स, अर्बन अपैथी, यूथ अपैथी, और ओवरकमिंग ऑपरेशनल चैलेंजेस जिसमें रीचिंग इन इनएक्सेसिबल एरियाज इन दिस वाइड कंट्री, एंड व्हाट आउटकम्स वी वांट, दैट इज व्हाट इज वी विल टेल यू लिटिल लेटर ऑल्सो. तो पहला जो इनपुट है ये एक मोज़ेक है जो देश की वोटर्स की इलेक्टर्स की पिक्चर है। क्या दिखाती है ये? इट्स अ वेरी डाइवर्स मोजेक। 96.8 crores are the total electors in the country, of which 49.7 crore are male and 47.1 crore are female. और जो यंग वोटर्स हैं, बहुत मेहनत की हमने पिछले साल में, वो 1.82 करोड़ फर्स्ट टाइम वोटर्स इस बार इन चुनावों में वोट देने के लिए हमारे इलेक्टरल रोल्स में हैं। और अगर इसको हम 20 से 29 साल के वर्ष में देखें, वो भी तो यंग ही हैं, कोई अभी बड़े तो हुए नहीं हैं, तो 18 से जो 29 हैं वो करीब 21.5 लाख वोटर हैं। 1.80 करोड़ 18 से 19 और 20 से 29 में 19.74 करोड़, यानी 21.5 करोड़ वोटर्स एब्सोल्युटली यंग, जो कि डेमोक्रेसी में भाग लेंगे और अपना फ्यूचर अपने से डिसाइड करेंगे, बिकॉज दे आर द बिगेस्ट स्टेक होल्डर्स इन द डेमोक्रेसी, बिकॉज दे हैव ए लार्जर टाइम टू कंट्रीब्यूट इन द सोसाइटी। अगर हम देखें तो बहुत इंक्लूसिव करने के लिए देर आर 88.4 lakh persons with disabilities who are part of our voter list. We have made a special effort कि जितने हमारे मतदाता हैं उस तरह के उनको हम अपने इलेक्टरल रोल में लेके आए। 82 लाख लोग ऐसे हैं जो 85 वर्ष से ऊपर हैं और वो हमारे प्राउड मतदाता हैं। वी फील वेरी प्राउड टू हैव देम विद अस। और उसमें से 2,18,000 लोग देश में 100 वर्ष से अधिक के मतदाता भी है जो हमारे इलेक्टरल रोल में। सो द मोज़ेक इज, ट्रांसजेंडर्स भी हैं 48,000। तो मोज़ेक इज लाइक 18 से 19, 20 से 28, 85 ट्रांसजेंडर्स, पर्सन विद डिसेबिलिटीज, एंड इन द एंटायर कंट्री, लेंथ एंड ब्रेड्थ ऑफ द कंट्री। इस रिगरस जो प्रोसीजर है, इसको बनाने में कितनी मेहनत लगती है, ये मैं आपको दिखाना चाहता हूं कि हर स्टेज पे इलेक्टरल रोल के प्रिपरेशन करते समय पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को इन्वॉल्व किया जाता है, ताकि कोई हमसे ये ना प्रश्न कहे कि आपने अपने से इलेक्टरल रोल बनाया और हमें बताया भी नहीं। सो व्हेन द इलेक्टरल रोल प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट्स, वी मेक ए ड्राफ्ट पब्लिकेशन। वी गिव 2 copies फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट टू द पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज। उसके बाद जितने फॉर्म 6, फॉर्म 7, फॉर्म 8, नया नाम जुड़ने के, डिलीशन के, मॉडिफिकेशन के, मेरा नाम बदल है, घर बदल गया, वो सब की कॉपी हम शेयर करते हैं, उसके मिनट्स बनाते हैं। और इस बार हमने और जोर दिया कि बूथ लेवल एजेंट्स अगर पॉलिटिकल पार्टी हमारे BLOs के साथ लगाना चाहें तो लगाएं। और अक्रॉस द लेंथ एंड ब्रेड्थ ऑफ द कंट्री, ऑल द डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट्स, वी आर एब्सोल्युटली कॉन्फिडेंट दैट साइलेंटली वी वर वर्किंग। सबने पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज के साथ में हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में कम से कम 1, 2, 3 मीटिंग्स की हैं, उनको सारे ड्राफ्ट रोल्स दिखाए हैं, दिखाने के बाद जितने ऑब्जेक्शंस हैं वो उनको पूरा किया है और उसके मिनट्स बना के रखे हैं। फ्रेंड्स, वी आर वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट दैट एंड वी आर कॉन्शियस दैट ए वेरी सॉलिड इलेक्टरल रोल इज द फाउंडेशन स्टोन ऑन एनी इलेक्शन, एंड वी आर रेडी टू गो विथ दिस। वी हैव ऑल्सो worked on the women voters. Women voters का जो जेंडर रेशियो है वो बढ़ के अब 948 हो गया, which is again a very healthy sign of women participation increasing in our electoral cycle. देश के 12 राज्य ऐसे हैं जहां आज 1000 से ऊपर जेंडर रेशियो है, यानी महिला वोटर्स की संख्या मेल से ज्यादा है। और जैसे मैंने अभी आपको बताया था कि 1.89 नए वोटर्स हमने जोड़े हैं, उनमें से 18 से 19 में 85 लाख हमारी लड़कियां हैं, फीमेल वोटर्स हैं। सो दे आर गोइंग साइड बाय साइड, एंड दिस इज अगेन ए वेरी हेल्दी साइन दैट वुमेन आर ऑल्सो इक्वली पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन आवर इलेक्शन। और जैसे वुमेन पार्टिसिपेशन है, ऐसे ही यूथ participation is another area which the commission is very conscious, and commission is also consistently focusing on. 13 से जो 1.8 करोड़ मैंने आपको बताया, 19 करोड़ वोटर्स 20 से 19, और जिस किसी की भी उम्र 1 जनवरी 2024 को 18 साल नहीं हुई थी, उसका भी नाम हमने एडवांस में एप्लीकेशन में लिया, जो 2024 के किसी भी समय में जिनकी उम्र 18 साल होने वाली है. And you would be happy to note that out of 13.4 lakh advance applications which have come to us, around 5 to 6 lakhs are such who will complete the age of 18 by 1st of April 2024. और वो भी हमारे वोटर उस समय तक बन जाएंगे. यानी the roll would be as much updated on 1st of April कि कोई भी छूटे नहीं. नेशनल आइकन्स को बड़ी संख्या में हमने यूथ को अपने साथ जोड़ने के लिए इस कार्य में लगाया है. हमें विश्वास है कि यूथ न सिर्फ वोट करेंगे बल्कि हमारे एम्बेसडर्स भी बनेंगे. जो इन्फ्लुएंसर्स हैं वो भी हमारे साथ जुड़ेंगे. वो अपने साथ यूथ एक के साथ अपने 10 दोस्तों को भी लेके आएंगे. और इस बार हम कन्विंस्ड हैं अपने डिफरेंट आउटरीच एक्टिविटीज की वजह से कि वो हमारे साथ ज्यादा से ज्यादा जुड़ेंगे. फ्रेंड्स, जब हम वोटर्स को अपने बूथ पे बुला रहे हैं तो हमारी ये भी ड्यूटी बनती है कि हम अपने बूथ को बहुत अच्छे से उनके लिए तैयार करके रखें. कैसे तैयार करें? हर बूथ पे पीने का पानी होगा, टॉयलेट होगा, मेल एंड फीमेल अलग, साइनेज होगा, पर्सन्स विद डिसेबिलिटी के लिए रैंप होगा, एक व्हील चेयर होगी, हेल्प डेस्क होगी, वोटर फैसिलिटेशन सेंटर होगा और शेड भी होगा, सफिशिएंट लाइट भी होगी. यानी मिनिमम बेसिक फैसिलिटीज वुड बी अवेलेबल एट ऑल द पोलिंग स्टेशंस. और दीज पोलिंग स्टेशंस विल बी सेट अप अक्रॉस द लेंथ एंड ब्रेथ. उत्तर में हिमालय की बर्फीली चोटियां हों या दक्षिण में कन्याकुमारी का समुद्र तट, पश्चिम में राजस्थान के रेगिस्तान से लेके अरुणाचल के जंगल और मेघालय के वेटेस्ट रीजन, इलेक्शन कमीशन देश के हर कोने में प्रजातंत्र को मजबूत बनाने के लिए अपने पोलिंग स्टेशन, अपने पर्सनल को लेके जाएगा. एंड वी विल टेक डेमोक्रेसी टू एवरी कॉर्नर ऑफ द कंट्री. We are sure that we would make it a very overwhelming experience for our voters. And then the voters delight. पोलिंग स्टेशन इस तरीके के मिलने चाहिए जिसमें ये सभी चीजें आपको मिले. Then how would we ensure that it is also inclusive? Inclusive in the sense 85 प्लस जितने वोटर्स हैं उनके हम घर जाके वोट लेने के लिए तैयार हैं. नॉमिनेशन से पहले सबके घर में हम फॉर्म 12D पहुंचाएंगे. देश के कुछ हिस्से में घर से वोटिंग हो चुकी है असेंबली इलेक्शंस में, कुछ राज्यों में अभी नहीं हुई है. अब इस बार पूरे देश में पहली बार ये व्यवस्था एक साथ लागू होगी कि जो 85 वर्ष से ऊपर के मतदाता हैं, जो पर्सन्स विद डिसेबिलिटी हैं, 40 इयर्स एंड 40% से ज्यादा की जिनको डिसेबिलिटी है, वो सब के पास हम फॉर्म पहुंचाएंगे. अगर वो ये ऑप्ट करेंगे कि वो फॉर्म वो बूथ पर नहीं आना चाहते, घर से करना चाहते, तो हम घर में जाएंगे, एक आदमी का वोट लेने घर में जाएंगे. हालांकि हमारा तजुर्बा यह है कि ज्यादातर लोग उस एज के बूथ पर आना चाहते हैं बिकॉज दे हैव कंसिस्टेंटली बीन पार्ट ऑफ आवर डेमोक्रेसी. उनको वॉलंटियर्स और व्हील चेयर की सुविधा वहां उपलब्ध रहेगी. नाउ जब ये बूथ बनाए तो हमने अपने पर्सनल को, जो टीम्स हैं, उनको बहुत अच्छे से ट्रेन करके तैयार किया. दे आर सेंटिनल्स ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी. आई मीन हमारे जितने एम्प्लॉयज हैं वो सब तैयार रहेंगे इस बात के लिए कि दैट वेयर एवर इट टेक्स दे विल वॉक एन एक्स्ट्रा माइल सो दैट वोटर्स डोंट हैव टू माइल. पहाड़ के बर्फ में भी जाएंगे, जंगल में भी जाएंगे, नदी में भी जाएंगे, घोड़े पर भी जाएंगे, काठ के ब्रिज पर भी जाएंगे, हेलीकॉप्टर से भी जाएंगे, हाथी से भी जाएंगे, बर्फ में भी चलेंगे, म्यूल से भी जाएंगे. सिर्फ हर जगह पहुंचेंगे इसलिए ताकि वोटर अपना वोट दे सकें. मैं इसी क्रम में आगे थोड़ी अर्बन एपैथी की भी बात करूंगा. हम इतनी जब मेहनत करते हैं जाने में, हम देखते हैं जहां घर के नीचे बूथ है वहां पे बहुत सारे लोग वोट देने नहीं आते. ये उनके लिए भी एक उदाहरण है कि वो ये समझें कि वोट देना कितना जरूरी है. अगर हम 10 लोगों के लिए, 5 लोगों के लिए बूथ बना के इतनी मेहनत से जा सकते हैं, तो आप घर के नीचे उतर के जो 2 किलोमीटर के रेडियस में आपके पास बूथ है उसमें वोट देने जरूर आए. फ्रेंड्स, we are also very conscious about the sustainable elections as our responsibility towards the environment. तो environmentally sustainable elections हों, इसके लिए भी हमने डायरेक्शंस अपने इलेक्शन मशीनरी को दी है। वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट किसी भी पोलिंग स्टेशन पे पोलिंग के बाद में दिखाई नहीं देना चाहिए। आप उसको कलेक्ट करें, डिस्पोजल करें और टीम्स के साथ में send them to various disposal thing. It's part of the material arrangement. मिनिमल यूज पेपर का करें, मैक्सिमम हमारी ई बुक्स लागू हैं, आप कभी भी हमारी वेबसाइट पे देख सकते हैं, हर सब्जेक्ट पर ई बुक है। मोर एंड मोर कार्बन फुटप्रिंट्स को हम कम से कम किस तरह से कर सकते हैं, रिसाइकलिंग, मोर एंड मोर लेस एंड लेस पेपर वर्क, ऑल दैट इज what is our commitment to the environment. We are also greatly leveraging technology in 3 verticals for the help of the voter, for the help of the election management agencies, machinery, and also for the political parties and candidates. कोई भी वोटर पूरे देश में उसका एपिक नंबर से बूथ कहाँ है, उसका एपिक डाउनलोड करना है। इफ ही हैज ए मोबाइल नंबर सीडेड, ही कैन डाउनलोड हिज और हर मोबाइल। कोई भी बीएलओ के बारे में कोई जानकारी लेनी है, वन कैन गो टू द वोटर हेल्पलाइन ऐप। यू कैन नो अबाउट व्हाट काइंड ऑफ ए कैंडिडेट यू हैव इन योर कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी हु आर कंटेस्टिंग। सो देयर इज एन एप्लीकेशन कॉल्ड नो योर कैंडिडेट। तो उस कैंडिडेट की कोई क्रिमिनल बैकग्राउंड तो नहीं है, उसके खिलाफ में केसेस तो नहीं है, उनके क्या असेट्स हैं, क्या लायबिलिटीज हैं, ये सारी चीजें केवाईसी के एप्लीकेशन में वोटर्स को देखने का अधिकार है, उनको मिलेंगी। और जिस किसी का भी क्रिमिनल रिकॉर्ड है किसी भी कैंडिडेट का, उसको 3 बार न्यूज़पेपर्स में देना पड़ेगा, टीवी में देना पड़ेगा, और पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को भी ये बताना पड़ेगा कि आपको उस कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में क्रिमिनल कैंडिडेट बैकग्राउंड के खड़ा करना पड़ा, तो बाकी क्यों नहीं मिला। आप बताइए, व्हाट इज द बेसिस ऑफ द सिलेक्शन ऑफ ए कैंडिडेट हु हैज ए क्रिमिनल बैकग्राउंड। देन in order to clean up the entire system, we want to use the technology with the help of the citizens. Citizens, be please vigilant. So C-Vigil ऐप में कोई भी शिकायत अगर किसी सिटीजन्स को, किसी वोटर को करनी है, कहीं पर भी कोई पैसा बांटने का केस है, फ्रीबी बांटने का केस है, एक्सेस कैंपेनिंग का केस है, जस्ट टेक ए फोटो और टाइप टेक्स्ट, सेंड इट टू अस, वी विल कैप्चर योर लॉन्गिट्यूड एंड लैटिट्यूड आवरसेल्व्स। आप कहाँ पर खड़े हैं ये हम अपने से आपकी मोबाइल की लोकेशन से समझ लेंगे, और आपको 100 मिनट के अंदर अपनी टीम भेजकर जो आपकी शिकायत है उसका निराकरण हम आपको करने देंगे। फ्रेंड्स, इस सारी चीज को करने में हमारे सामने कुछ चैलेंजेस भी हैं। मैं आज आपके सामने उन चैलेंजेस की भी चर्चा करना चाहता हूं और ये भी बताना चाहता हूं कि इसको हम कैसे ठीक करेंगे। तो मेनली 4 चैलेंजेस हमारे पास हैं, 4 M's: मसिल, मनी, मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन एंड एमसीसी वायलेशंस। एसेंशियली 4 किस्म के ब्रॉड जो हमारे प्रोसेस हैं, और इसी के संदर्भ में पूरा जो प्रोसेस अब आज से शुरू होगा और जब तक चुनाव खत्म होगा, तो इलेक्शन कमीशन का अधिकांश समय इन्हीं 4 चीजों में लगने वाला है कि हाउ टू कंट्रोल मसिल पावर, हाउ टू कंट्रोल मनी पावर, हाउ टू कंट्रोल द menace of misinformation, and how to control the violations which are done or at least to be done under MCC. So coming to the muscle power को कंट्रोल करने के लिए adequate number of CAPF would be deployed. 24/7 एक नया प्रयोग हम इस बार कर रहे हैं। We are establishing, हम बिल्कुल डिटरमिन्ड हैं इस बार मसिल पावर को कम करने के लिए। चुनावों में हिंसा का कोई स्थान होना नहीं चाहिए और ब्लड बाथ बिल्कुल नहीं होना चाहिए। जहां भी हिंसा बची है, चाहे वो प्री पोल हो, चाहे वो ड्यूरिंग कैंपेनिंग हो, चाहे वो पोस्ट पोल हो, वी आर कमिटेड टू काइंड ऑफ बी वेरी वेरी अलाइव टू दिस सिचुएशन, और जो भी हमें सख्ती से करना होगा इसके लिए हम करेंगे ताकि ये प्रोविजन ना रहे। हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में एक कंट्रोल रूम बनाया गया है, जो दिन उसमें 5 किस्म के फीड्स होंगे: टीवी, सोशल मीडिया, वेबकास्टिंग विच इज ऑन दी बूथ्स, 1950 की लाइन जिससे शिकायत आती है, एंड ग्रीवेंसेस पोर्टल। So one senior officer would be available in the control rooms in every district to look at these 5 feats. जहां से भी, और सी विजिल, 6th सी विजिल, जहां से भी कोई शिकायत मिलेगी उस पर सख्त कार्रवाई की जाएगी. एवरीवेयर अक्रॉस द कंट्री हमने बड़ी सख्त ताकीद दी है कि डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट्स, एसएसपीज अपने एरिया में हिंसा को ना होने दें. जितने नॉन अवेलेबल वारंट्स आज की डेट में हैं, पुलिस उनको ऑलरेडी हमारे विजिट्स के साथ साथ ऑलमोस्ट एग्जीक्यूट कर चुकी है, कर रही है. साथ ही जितने हिस्ट्री शीटर्स हैं उनको भी बहुत तेजी से देख रही है. देयर इज ऑल्सो ए नेटवर्क ऑफ चेक पोस्ट विच हैव बीन सेट अप in the international border, in the interstate border, and on the nodes from where some kinds of irregular, illegal goods can move across the states. In some international borders, there is also a drone-based checking which will happen. We are fully committed that हिंसा का कहीं कोई उपयोग नहीं होना चाहिए. हमने डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट्स को बहुत सख्त हिदायत दी है कि जितने लोग 3 साल से ऊपर हैं उन सबको आप बदल दीजिए पहले. और अकाउंटेबिलिटी स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम द हेड ऑफ द डिस्ट्रिक्ट, नॉट बिलो. ये उनका काम है कि जो नीचे हैं वो उनको देखें. किसी भी प्रोसेस में वॉलंटियर्स और कॉन्ट्रेक्चुअल स्टाफ किसी भी स्टेट ने लगाए वो इस्तेमाल नहीं होंगे. बहुत सारी स्टेट्स ने टेम्परेरी वॉलंटियर्स और कॉन्ट्रेक्चुअल स्टाफ को लगा के रखा है. वो किसी भी स्टेज में इस्तेमाल नहीं होंगे. डबल वोटिंग, इम्पर्सोनेशन की भी शिकायत आती है. बहुत सख्त हिदायत दी गई है कि अगर इम्पर्सोनेशन के केसेस आए तो आरपी एक्ट की सेक्शन में उनके खिलाफ एक्शन लें. साथियों, बहुत ही डिटर्मिनेशन के साथ हम हिंसा मुक्त चुनाव देना चाहते हैं. चुनाव में हिंसा की कतई गुंजाइश नहीं है. राष्ट्रपति महात्मा गांधी जी ने कहा था, मैं हिंसा का विरोध करता हूं क्योंकि उससे पाया हुआ समाधान बहुत कम वक्त के लिए होता है और उससे पैदा हुई नफरत हमेशा के लिए. ओनली पीस इज एवरलास्टिंग, वायलेंस डजंट सॉल्व एनीथिंग. वी विल रिक्वेस्ट एवरीवन, ऑल पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज, ऑल कैंडिडेट्स, दैट they must be very cautious of this point. We'll be ruthless if anywhere the violence happens. Similarly, coming to the money, आप जानते हैं, मैंने पहले भी आपको दिखाया है कि पिछले जो 11 इलेक्शंस हुए हैं स्टेट में, राज्यों में, और उसी की वजह से ये कन्विक्शन है जिससे हम आपसे उसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. वी आर टॉकिंग टू यू फ्रॉम द स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ आवर आउटकम्स. 3400 करोड़ रुपए के करीब का कैश मूवमेंट को रेस्ट्रिक्ट किया गया 11 इलेक्शन में. एवरी स्टेट, राजस्थान, तेलंगाना, मध्य प्रदेश, नागालैंड, गुजरात, हिमाचल, मिजोरम, त्रिपुरा, छत्तीसगढ़, हर स्टेट में उससे पहले इलेक्शन में जो भी हुआ था उससे 200, 400, 500, 700% की वृद्धि हुई. टोटल 3400 करोड़ इज अराउंड 835% हायर. ये जो धन बल का जो उपयोग है, जो धन का उपयोग है, जैसे बल का उपयोग कुछ राज्यों में ज्यादा है, ऐसी धन का उपयोग भी कुछ राज्यों में ज्यादा है. हम इस बात से भी बहुत वाकिफ हैं. वी आर अवेयर fully that there are differential vulnerabilities in each state. Some states have more violence, some states have more money, some states are more kind of a geographical problems. So whichever problem pertains to a particular state, based on this differential analysis, we would be having a differential level of treatment for that state. Misuse of money हम नहीं होने देंगे. इसके लिए भी हमने एनफोर्समेंट एजेंसीज को, सब स्टेट्स में एनफोर्समेंट एजेंसीज के साथ बैठक की है. दिल्ली में हम सब हेड्स ऑफ द एजेंसीज के साथ फिर से बैठक करने वाले हैं आज के बाद तुरंत. क्या कहा है उनको हमने कहा है कि जो फ्रीबीज, लिकर, कैश, कुकर, साड़ी, मशीन्स, whatever kind of freebies किस किस स्टेट में बंटने की शिकायतें आती हैं, उसको 100% रोकें. रोकने के लिए एनालिटिक्स बेस्ड कार्य करें. सो whom have we directed? GST, एक्साइज, स्टेट पुलिस, all agencies, income tax, customs, coast guards, BSF, SSB, बॉर्डर से जहां से भी जिसके नारकोटिक्स और जहां से भी फ्री भी आने की संभावना हो सकती है. जीएसटी वुड बी डूइंग द ई-वे बिल बेस्ड एनालिटिक्स टू सी if there is a trend of spurt in the demand for the FMCG in certain areas. Banks would look at if there is a demand, spurt in demand of the cash in the chests. So, National NPCIL will look at if there is a spurt in demand for the payments from the wallets. डिजिटल पेमेंट से तो पैसा नहीं जा रहा है. एक दो स्टेट में ऐसा भी देखने में आया था कि आप अपने वैलेट के थ्रू किसी को भी पैसे ट्रांसफर करते रहिए, 2,000 1,000 रुपए. ऑल दैट वी विल बी लुकिंग एट. बैंक्स वुड बी सेंडिंग almost daily report of the suspicious transactions which they have. All airports in the country would be checked regularly by the dedicated teams of income tax for any kind of movement through the airstrips. और जहां जिन राज्यों में एयर स्ट्रिप्स कॉमर्शियल के अतिरिक्त हैं, जहां हेलीकॉप्टर्स लैंड कर सकते हैं, वी हैव आस्क्ड एंड वी हैव गॉट एक्चुअली द ब्यूरो ऑफ सिविल एविएशन ऑफ सिक्योरिटी टू इशू डिटेल्ड इंस्ट्रक्शंस कि जिस किसी क्षेत्र में हेलीकॉप्टर या चार्टर्ड फ्लाइट उतरेगी, वहां जो भी सामान उसके अंदर में उसकी एज पर द डायरेक्शंस, एज पर द instructions and guidelines of the BCS, almost equal to the commercial airports, checking hogi. Railways, RPF, GRP, both will be simultaneously, continuously looking at. Roads. So, cash or money, जो भी धन बल का दुरुपयोग करना चाहेंगे, political finance in any case is a thing which is in news these days. So this is our effort to add to that thing so that there are much more cleaner elections. Coming to the third M, which is the misinformation. This also troubles us a lot during the elections. While we are conscious of two facts, that the social media helps us in taking out our outreach programs. जितना हम यूथ, विमेन, वोटर्स को अपने पास लाने की कोशिश करते हैं, उस मीडियम को यूज करते हैं. वी आर ऑल्सो कॉन्शियस दैट ऑन सोशल मीडिया इन डेमोक्रेसी देर इज ए फुल फ्रीडम टू क्रिटिसाइज एनीबडी, इंक्लूडिंग क्रिटिसाइजिंग अस. व्हाई नॉट? इफ वी आर डूइंग रॉन्ग, क्रिटिसाइज अस. बट you should not be allowed to create fake news which is not based on facts, because it can disturb the public order. ये अफवाहें फैलाते हैं. तो हमने सबको इंस्ट्रक्शंस दी हैं किस किस्म का इंस्टीट्यूशनलाइज तरीका किया. ये कुछ इस तरीके की नई चीजें हैं जो इस बार के चुनाव में सबको देखने की मिलेंगी. मैंने मसिल पावर के बारे में भी बताया, मनी पावर के बारे में भी बताया, मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन के बारे में. तो ये जो प्रोसेस है इलेक्शन का, जो आज से शुरू हो रहा है काउंटिंग के बीच तक, जिसमें शोर शराबा, गंदगी की संभावना बनी रहती थी, वो हमारा प्रयास है कि कम से कम हो. उसके प्रति हम बहुत ज्यादा सजग रहें. इसमें क्या करेंगे? अंडर सेक्शन 69 and 79(3) of the IT Act, authorized authority of each state is empowered to ask for takedown of the social media posts. In almost all states, authorized officials have been appointed or are being appointed. In each district, we have done thorough trainings as to how to deal with this kind of a menace. So this is on the preventive side. But there is also a promotional side. All our entire machinery will now react to whatever is coming by facts. We will try and join the issue instead of being in the background. If somebody is trying to do a fake kind of a narrative, which is disturbing the level playing field, which is disturbing the public order, or which is not based on the facts, and which has crossed the line of the criticism, we would be also joining them. We will also launch very soon on our website something called Myth versus Reality. This is going to be live very soon. Means, ये मिथ फैलाया जा रहा है, ये उसकी रियलिटी है. हम अपनी तरफ से आगे बढ़ के आपको एजुकेट करेंगे कि ये उसकी रियलिटी है. और और सोशल मीडिया के बारे में आप सबसे भी एक अपील है कि थोड़ा देख लें, मतलब जो आया उसको आगे नहीं करना चाहिए। इसमें एक बहुत बड़ा झूठ का बाजार भी है। मैं इसके बारे में सोच रहा था तो मैंने कुछ चंद लाइनें लिखी थी जो आपको बताना चाहता हूं। झूठ के बाजार में रौनक तो बहुत है, गोया बुलबुले जैसी तुरंत ही फट जाती है। पकड़ भी लोगे तो क्या हासिल होगा सिवाय धोखे के। तो उसको थोड़ा रोक के देखें, समझ लें आगे बढ़ाने लायक है कि नहीं है, ना बढ़ाएं। नाउ फ्रेंड्स, द लास्ट प्रॉब्लम, चुनाव के दौरान हमारे सामने एक और बहुत बड़ी समस्या है, और वो समस्या है चुनावी प्रक्रिया का पॉलिटिकल डिस्कोर्स का घटता हुआ स्तर, जिसमें एज वी कॉल इट, इट्स ए प्लम्टिंग लेवल ऑफ द पॉलिटिकल डिस्कोर्स। अगर हमने सब पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को बहुत स्ट्रांग एडवाइजरी इशू की हैं, आप पूछेंगे कि एडवाइजरी तो दी, उसके बाद एक्शन क्या होगा, उसका भी जवाब मैं आपको दूंगा। एडवाइजरी इशू की हैं, जो भी पिछले 11-12 इलेक्शंस में, एक्चुअली जो पिछले 5 साल में जितने भी एमसीसी के वायलेशंस होते रहे, उसको हमने इकट्ठा करके एक फाइनल एडवाइजरी दी है बिफोर द 24। सो दिस इज हाउ वी हैव सेट आवर ग्राउंड्स, एंड व्हाट वी हैव डन इन दैट, वी हैव सेट, we are putting political parties on notice. Means we have asked political parties to give copy of our guidelines to each star campaigner. Political parties के जितने भी बड़े नेतागण स्टार कैंपेनर्स हैं जो कैंपेनिंग करेंगे, उनके व्यक्तिगत नोटिस में हमारी गाइडलाइंस ले आइए। ये जिम्मेदारी हमने पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को दी है। सो नाउ व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, वी हैव पुट देम ऑन नोटिस and we will presume knowledge of the guidelines. These are the two fundamental changes which we have made silently. People were asking, you issued so many notices last time, did nothing. You left it at that. That was a moral censor. Now we will go beyond. We will go beyond, and here we have said we will also look at the past. We will also look at the history. We might look at a calibrated approach dealing with the MCC violations, which may be, जो एमसीसी वायलेशंस किस प्रकार की हो सकती हैं। आई मीन स्टेटमेंट्स which inspire, which should inspire rather than divide. इशू बेस्ड कैंपेन हो, हेट स्पीचेस, रिलीजियस स्पीचेस, प्राइवेट लाइफ का क्रिटिसिज्म is what is absolutely avoidable. People should be refraining from giving unverified and misleading advertisements or masquerading as an advertisement as a news. इसमें हमने एडिटर्स को भी एडवाइजरी इशू की है। वो एक न्यूज़पेपर में बड़ा बड़ा ऊपर में छप जाता है कि इसकी लहर और उसकी लहर। अगर ऐसा है तो साफ साफ लिखें कि ये एडवर्टाइजमेंट है। लेट इट नॉट पास थ्रू एडवर्टाइजमेंट। वी हैव इशूड दीज एडवाइजरीज। नाउ द टाइम इज ड्यूरिंग दिस इलेक्शन to go beyond advisories, take concrete action, for which in the advisories there are relevant sections of the acts which are also inbuilt. So notice is there, knowledge is there, sections are there. So please, our request is कि campaigning के दौरान please don't try to cross the red line. ये वैसे भी इसलिए जरूरी है that in this digital world जो भी एक बार मुंह से निकलता है उसका रिकॉर्ड तो 100 साल तक के लिए पैदा हो गया, वो बार बार चलता रहता है। सो प्लीज अवॉइड क्रिएटिंग डिजिटल मेमोरी ऑफ बैड वर्ड्स व्हिच आर कमिंग फ्रॉम योर माउथ। प्लीज बी सिविलाइज्ड ड्यूरिंग द इलेक्शन, दिस इज व्हाट इज आवर एडवाइस। और एक बार जब लड़ाई झगड़ा होता है ना तो प्रेम का धागा टूट जाता है, और जब प्रेम का धागा टूट गया तो बड़ी मुश्किल होती है। रहीम ने कहा था, रहीमन धागा प्रेम का मत तोड़ो चिटकाए, टूटे से फिर ना मिले, मिले गांठ पड़ जाए। तो क्यों ऐसी गांठ बांधनी है? थोड़ा प्यार मोहब्बत से कैंपेनिंग करें, शोर शराबा कम हो। फ्रेंड्स, पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज को और भी बहुत सारी स्ट्रीमलाइन करने के लिए उनकी एक्टिविटीज को हमने कदम उठाए हैं। ये मैं पिक्चर आपको इसलिए दिखा रहा हूं कि हर फील्ड के अंदर में वी आर रेडी दैट हाउ वी वुड कंट्रोल दिस। क्या किया है? अराउंड 537 रजिस्टर्ड अनरिकॉग्नाइज्ड पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज हैव बीन टेकन आउट ऑफ द पॉलिटिकल स्पेस। वो क्या करती थी? किसी के नाम में कैंडिडेट खड़ा कर दिया, गाड़ियों की परमिशन ले ली, दूसरा कोई यूज कर रहा है, किस्म किस्म की भांति एंटाइटलमेंट ले लिया, भांति भांति का वो they were cluttering the political space, crowding out the genuine persons. So that is what it has been done. सारी फाइनेंशियल जितने भी अकाउंट्स हैं पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज के और जितनी भी कंट्रीब्यूशन रिपोर्ट्स हैं वो सब डिजिटाइज्ड फॉर्म में हमारे पास आएंगी, ऐसा हमने उनको कहा, डायरेक्शंस दे दिए, इट इज स्टार्टेड कमिंग। तो जो भी पॉलिटिकल फाइनेंस की चर्चा देश में चल रही है उसके साथ साथ ये भी कार्य पीछे से बैकग्राउंड में चल रहा है, बिकॉज कमीशन ऑलवेज बिलीव्स इन द ट्रांसपेरेंसी इन द पॉलिटिकल फाइनेंसिंग। Plummeting level, I have already said. We have also asked the political parties to be very, very respectful to the persons with disabilities in their discourse, not to use the abusive words, also to not use children at all during the campaigning. बच्चे नहीं है इसलिए कि उन्हें कैंपेनिंग में लाया जाए. We will be very strict if anybody does that. We are also giving advisories to political parties that have internal organizational structures within your party, within the parameters and in a right form. Friends, we are appointing 2,100 observers. जितनी चीजें मैंने आपको बताई, ये सब चीज को फील्ड ऑफिसर्स तो करेंगे ही करेंगे. हम 2100 ऑब्जर्वर्स को अपॉइंट कर रहे हैं और इस बार उनको हमने क्या खास सख्त हिदायत दी है, और जो भी डीओज लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं कि नहीं कर रहे हैं वो स्पेसिफिकली इसको देखेंगे. इंड्यूसमेंट एंड कोअर्शन, इंटिमिडेशन फ्री इलेक्शन हो, इस पर स्पेसिफिकली नजर रखेंगे, हमें रिपोर्ट करेंगे. फोर्स जितनी भी जा रही है किसी भी राज्य में उसका डिप्लॉयमेंट रैंडमाइज्ड हो. ऐसा नहीं कि उस फोर्स को कहीं बैठा दिया, काम नहीं कर रही, या कहीं दूसरी जगह भेज दिया जहां जरूरत नहीं है. दे विल बी रैंडमाइजिंग द फोर्स. Entire election machinery will be randomized in the presence of the observers. Now, having done all this, जैसे मैंने पहली स्लाइड में बताया था, तो what are we expecting? हमारे elections कैसे होंगे? So, let me show you this. What is our effort? What is our endeavor? As a last slide, let me tell you. There are reduced repolls. That is what we are endeavoring. Zero violence. That's what we are endeavoring. No inducements. जिस पे कार्य हो. फेक न्यूज कर्व की जाए. कैंपेनिंग क्लटर और बदमिजाजी कम हो और लोगों का पार्टिसिपेशन बढ़े. जो 67% पार्टिसिपेशन था वो बढ़ के अधिक से अधिक पहुंचे. With this, I would like to, in the end, appeal to the voters that elections belong to you. बहुत मेहनत की है हमने 2 साल में, आगे भी करेंगे, लेकिन दामोदर अब आपके हाथ में है. वी आर हैंडिंग ओवर द बैटन टू यू. प्लीज कम एंड वोट. पॉलिटिकल अपने जितने भी हमारे चुनाव कराने कर्मी जाएंगे उनसे मैं फिर से एक बार अपील करना चाहता हूं, आज सुन रहे होंगे कहीं ना कहीं, कि लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड प्रोवाइड करना उनका परम धर्म है. इसमें से कतई भी कोताही ना बरतें. उनको बताया गया है, इंस्ट्रक्शंस दी गई हैं, अगर बरतेंगे तो विल बी रूथलेस इन डीलिंग, बिकॉज मेजॉरिटी ऐसा नहीं करती. अगर 1-2 करेगा तो उसकी वजह से हम अपने इलेक्शंस को बदनाम नहीं होने देंगे. विल बी रूथलेस. एंड लास्टली, माय अपील टू द पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज अगेन. वी आर वेरी कमिटेड फॉर एथिकल पॉलिटिकल डिस्कोर्स. I would like parties to again appeal that please maintain decorum in campaigning and refrain from abuses and personal attacks. राजनीतिक दलों को बहुत पर्सनल अटैक से बचना चाहिए. फिर मुझे बदर साहब का एक शेर याद आता है, दुश्मनी जमकर करो लेकिन ये गुंजाइश रहे. दुश्मनी जम के करो लेकिन ये गुंजाइश रहे, जब कभी हम दोस्त हो जाएं तो शर्मिंदा ना हो. और वैसे भी आजकल जल्दी जल्दी दोस्त बनना और जल्दी जल्दी दुश्मन बनने की प्रक्रिया थोड़ी ज्यादा चल रही है. तो पार्टीज कम से कम ऐसा ना गंदा बोलें कि वो एक दूसरे के दुश्मन बन जाएं और फिर कुछ ना हो सके. विद दिस, I would once again thank all the press media who have come here. Very sincerely, this is what I have seen in now 3.5 years. You are our natural allies. You are eyes and ears. हमारा कोई क्रिटिसिज्म होता है आप करते हैं, हम अपनी बात कहते हैं आप करते हैं. आप ही के थ्रू हम वोटर्स पे पहुंच सकते हैं. प्लीज वोटर्स तक हमारी बात पहुंचाइए, उनको बाहर निकलवाइए. ये सारी स्लाइड्स, सारा प्रेजेंटेशन आपको अभी तुरंत इसी माध्यम से हमारी वेबसाइट पे मिल जाएगा. डाउनलोड, यूज इट इन योर स्टोरीज. कुछ और चाहिए तो हमें बताइए, हम देंगे. नाउ I come to the schedule, which you were waiting, and I hope I didn't delay it. I have not bored you by what I said. So now we'll be announcing schedule in 3 phases. First, for the by-elections. There are 26 assembly constituencies in the country जहां by-poll होना अभी है due. बिहार, गुजरात, हरियाणा, झारखंड, महाराष्ट्र, त्रिपुरा, उत्तर प्रदेश, वेस्ट बंगाल, तेलंगाना, हिमाचल प्रदेश, राजस्थान, कर्नाटका, तमिलनाडु, इन सब राज्यों में बाई इलेक्शंस होना ड्यू है. आज तक की जितनी भी वैकेंसी थी बाई इलेक्शंस की, 26 की 26 हम पूरी कर रहे हैं, ताकि हमारे खाते में कोई भी वैकेंसी ना रहे. और ये उसी फेज में होंगी जिस फेज में पार्लियामेंट्री इलेक्शन उस पर्टिकुलर इलाके में हो रहा है. वो कब हो रहा है वो मैं आपको जब फेज आएंगी तो उसमें दिखा दूंगा. बट ऑल दी 26 assembly constituencies will go to the by-poll so that during this election itself we can complete this entire process. अगर आपने नोट कर लिया हो तो now I come to the assembly elections. साथियों, 4 राज्यों में असेंबली इलेक्शंस जैसे मैंने बताया था जून में खत्म हो रहे हैं. सिक्किम जो 2 जून को विद 32 असेंबली सीट्स. उड़ीसा जून 24th जून with 147 assembly constituencies. Arunachal Pradesh on 2nd of June with 60 assembly constituencies. Andhra Pradesh on 11th June 24 with 175 assembly constituencies. These are the simultaneous elections to the parliament. They will be held simultaneously. They will also be held in the same phase where the parliament elections will be held. So now, when I tell you the parliamentary elections, then I will tell you. But in case of Andhra Pradesh, the date of issue of Gazette notification would be 18th of April 2024, और date of poll would be 13th May 2024. तो आंध्रा के केस में नोटिफिकेशन 18 अप्रैल 24 को होगा और डेट ऑफ पोल 13th May 24 को होगी. इसके बाद अरुणाचल प्रदेश में डेट ऑफ गजेट नोटिफिकेशन 20 मार्च को होगा और डेट ऑफ पोल 29 अप्रैल को होगी. 20 मार्च को गजेट नोटिफिकेशन, 29 अप्रैल को डेट ऑफ पोल. सॉरी 19 अप्रैल को. 20 मार्च 19 अप्रैल. इस प्रकार सिक्किम में भी 20 मार्च और 19 अप्रैल. 20 मार्च को नोटिफिकेशन, 19 अप्रैल को डेट ऑफ पोल. उड़ीसा में फर्स्ट नोटिफिकेशन, दिस विल बी कंडक्टेड in phases, and first phase would be on 18th April and date of poll would be 13th May. 5th phase में होगा second phase of the Assembly of Odisha, 26th April and 20th May. Then 6th phase and 7th phase also, Odisha would have the Assembly elections. 6th phase being on 29th April and 25th May elections. ये सब आपके साथ में हम अभी शेयर कर रहे हैं ताकि आपको लिखने में, रिपोर्ट करने में इसको आसानी हो. कमिंग टू दी जनरल इलेक्शंस टू दी लोकसभा, जो विश्व का सबसे बड़ा लोकतांत्रिक त्योहार है, सबसे बड़ा लोकतांत्रिक त्योहार, बिगेस्ट. 543 पार्लियामेंट्री कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज, ऑफ विच 84 are reserved for SCs and 47 are reserved for STs. तो इस 543 पार्लियामेंट्री कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज के महा त्योहार में शेड्यूल बताने से पहले सभी वोटर्स का फिर से हाथ जोड़ के आग्रह, अनुरोध, गुजारिश that please join for the voting. Come on the day of voting. छुट्टी मनाने ना जाएं, जरूर आ जाएं. Schedule of the Lok Sabha poll, phase 1. We'll do it in 7 phases, as was done last time. 7 phases. Phase 1 will start from 20th March notification, 5 days from now. And last date of withdrawal would be 30th March and date of poll would be 19th of April. इसमें फेज 1 का शेड्यूल एक दिन से हमें 2 बार करना पड़ रहा है. फिर बिहार के लिए वहां एक फेस्टिवल है, तो नोटिफिकेशन की डेट सेम है, लेकिन बस लास्ट डेट ऑफ विड्रॉल हमें 30 मार्च की जगह 2 अप्रैल सिर्फ बिहार की फर्स्ट फेज के लिए करनी पड़ रही है, क्योंकि वहां त्योहार है. और 19 अप्रैल को यहां वोटिंग होगी और पूरी कंट्री में 4 जून को काउंटिंग होगी. सो फेज 1 दिस विल लुक लाइक दिस. ये मैप भी हम आपको प्रोवाइड कर देंगे. अभी ये जो येलो पोर्शन है ये ऐसा दिखाई देगा. तो इसमें जो फेज 1 का जो मैप है, इसमें नॉर्थ ईस्ट नीचे तमिलनाडु, राजस्थान, सेंटर में छत्तीसगढ़, मध्य प्रदेश और उत्तराखंड, और ऊपर में जम्मू कश्मीर की 1 पार्लियामेंट्री कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी. ये येलो फर्स्ट फेज का आपके सामने में मैप है. सेकंड फेज और फर्स्ट फेज में 21 स्टेट्स जाएंगी पोल में. सेकंड फेज notification will start on 28th of March and date of poll will be 26th of April. Similarly here, in case of J&K, because of the some holiday, the date of one day would be different, date of security of nomination would be different, but date of gazette notification or date of poll would be common. Phase 1 में 21 राज्य पोलिंग में जाएंगे और फेज 2 में उसमें से और राज्य जुड़ जाएंगे. सो दिस इज द मैप विच वुड बी फेज 2, जिसमें हम नॉर्थ ईस्ट में काफी जगह चुनाव को कंप्लीट करते हुए, तमिलनाडु में कंप्लीट करते हुए, सेकंड फेज में राजस्थान को भी कंप्लीट करेंगे. फेज 3 वुड बी फ्रॉम 12th of April and date of poll will be 7th of May. इसमें भी टोटल 12 स्टेट्स उस समय में जा रही होंगी और इस फेज में 3 नए राज्य में चुनाव शुरू होगा. इसका मैप कुछ इस तरह से दिखाई देगा. राजस्थान हम कवर कर चुके होंगे, तमिलनाडु कवर कर चुके होंगे, केरला कवर कर चुके होंगे, गुजरात इसमें कवर कर लेंगे, नॉर्थ ईस्ट पूरा कवर कर चुके होंगे और हम नए राज्यों को मिला के 3 इसमें नए राज्य भी जुड़ेंगे. फोर्थ फेज में 18 अप्रैल को गजट नोटिफिकेशन होगा और डेट ऑफ पोलिंग वुड बी 13th of May. Date of counting in the entire country would be 4th of June for all by-elections, for the assembly elections, for the parliamentary elections. इसका मैप कुछ इस तरह का दिखाई देगा. इस समय तक हम इसमें तेलंगाना, आंध्रा, उड़ीसा would start, and by that time, other than that, entire South India would be complete, entire Western India would be complete, Northeast would be complete. और फिफ्थ फेज 26 अप्रैल से शुरू होगी और 20 मई तक चलेगी. 20 मई तक डेट ऑफ पोल होगी. बीच में नॉमिनेशन, स्क्रूटनी और विड्रॉल की डेट्स रहेंगी. काउंटिंग ऑफ कोर्स इज 4th of June. It will look like this, which is in front of you. And phase 5 में 49 constituencies will be going to the poll. Phase 6 में 57 constituencies will go to the poll, starting from the gazette notification on 29th of April and finishing on 25th of May 2024. इसका मैप कुछ इस तरह का दिखाई देगा कि मोस्टली यूपी, बिहार, बंगाल, उड़ीसा और साथ में कुछ नॉर्थ का पोर्शन चालू रहेगा. लास्ट फेज, 7th phase notification will be on 7th of May and polling on 1st of June. So last polling would be on 1st of June and counting on 4th. And इस फेज में पूरा पंजाब, हरियाणा भी शामिल रहेगा, बंगाल, Bihar, Odisha. This is how the map will look. Yellow denotes the first phase and accordingly the legends are given. We will share this map also with you, ताकि आप इसे अपने साथ रख सकें, इसके हिसाब से देख सकें. ये भी कोशिश की है हमने, और अगर पूरी फेज वाइज हम पिक्चर दें, ये भी एक अच्छी स्नैपशॉट है, जिसमें फेज 1 में 102 कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज, फेज 2 में 89, फेज 3 में 94, फेज 4 में 96, 49, 57, 57. So we'll start with the 102, the largest, slowly come down and finish northeast, move up from the south and finish the western area. तो इसमें वेदर और हर चीज का ध्यान रखते हुए काफी सोचने के बाद ये शेड्यूल बनाया गया है. विद दिस, जो सिंगल पोल डेट है वो 22 स्टेट में होगी. 2 राज्य 4 बार में जाएंगे, कर्नाटका, राजस्थान, त्रिपुरा, मणिपुर. 3 फेज में 2 जाएंगे, छत्तीसगढ़ एंड असम. 4 फेज में 3 जाएंगे, उड़ीसा, मध्य प्रदेश, झारखंड. 5 फेज में 2 जाएंगे, महाराष्ट्र एंड जम्मू कश्मीर. जम्मू कश्मीर की हर पार्लियामेंट्री कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी के लिए 1 फेज होगी. और 7 फेज में 3 जाएंगे, उत्तर प्रदेश, बिहार एंड वेस्ट बंगाल. विद दिस फ्रेंड्स, I end my address and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for those detailed remarks. Please hold on. So, you raise your hands, हाथ खड़ा कर दीजिए. Micers आपके पास आएंगे. So we will start with you in the first row. Where are the micers? अब आइए, इनको दे दीजिए. जो Yeah, CC sir will take 4-5 questions at one time. So after that, we'll take the next person. Yeah.
सर, मैं मोहित दुबे हूँ न्यूज नेशन से. सर, मेरा सवाल ये है कि आपने 7 चरणों में मतदान ये करवाया है. बहुत बड़ी चुनौती है क्योंकि दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा लोकतंत्र हिंदुस्तान है. अपोजिशन पार्टियां जो है ये आरोप लगा रही है कि 7 चरणों में क्या जरूरत है और इसकी वजह से सत्ताधारी दल को फायदा होता है. और छोटा सा सवाल सर एक और है कि ईवीएम को लेके लगातार अपोजिशन धरना दे रहा है, सवाल उठा रहा है. आप हमेशा ये कहते रहे कि निष्पक्षता के साथ आप मतदान करवाते रहते हैं ईवीएम के माध्यम से, तो उनके सवाल के बारे में आप क्या जवाब देंगे?
आप ये जो लाइट जैकेट पहने हैं सेंटर में, इनको दे दीजिए. जो हाँ, या जस्ट होल्ड ऑन.
सर, मेरा नाम रविंद्र सिंह शोरान है. आई वुड लाइक टू आस्क कि जो आपने बताया कि 3500 करोड़ रुपए को सीज किया, उसके बाद कार्रवाई कितने लोग जेल गए, कौन कौन सी पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज इन्वॉल्व थी, और जो लीकर सीज किया गया उसमें कितने केसेस रजिस्टर हुए, उसकी डिटेल्स इलेक्शन कमीशन हमारे साथ कभी शेयर करता नहीं है आफ्टर द इलेक्शन हैपेंस.
दिस लेडी इन द फ्रंट, या इधर मिडिल में जो है, इनको माइकर्स, हाँ इनको दे दीजिए. या इनको दे दीजिए. हाँ, please switch on your mic.
Great. Samir Hussain from BBC News. This is an incredible feat to try and get every person who's eligible to vote. I'm wondering how much money is being spent. And in addition, what is the biggest concern in terms of these elections?
Okay. The lady in the 4th row over there with that black dress, उनको दे दीजिए. Micers. मिडिल में, हाँ उनको जो बीच में है वो लेडी जो है, हाँ गिव इट. यस, स्विच ऑन योर माइक.
Hi, I'm Ashlyn. You said in your speech that...
Can you just introduce yourself?
I'm Ashlyn Matthew.
From?
National Herald.
Thank you.
You had said in your speech that there should be no hate speech. There will be a calibrated approach to code violations. But there have been several complaints against the Prime Minister and Amit Shah, but none of the ECI has not taken action against them. But you have taken action against the opposition leaders. So even if you take a calibrated approach, so won't it be the opposition leaders who get picked up more, who'll get notice from you more than the ruling party leaders?
Yeah, the gentleman in the second row here. Yeah, please. Yeah, mic is live.
Hello. Sir, Venkatraman from Dinamala, from Tamil Nadu. Sir, every election you are getting new experience regarding the control of money power. How are you going to control the money power? For example, last election 2019, at Vellore constituency, the candidate Kadira Anand from his place, crores and crores of rupees money has been recovered from it. But what kind of action has been taken against him? And he is going to be the future candidate from the same constituency.
Let me first take the answers of these questions of the first round. First question ये था कि 7 फेज में इलेक्शन क्यों, और अपोजिशन पार्टीज का ये आरोप है कि 7 फेज में होने से लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड डिस्टर्ब होती है, किसी को फायदा होता है। एक बार कभी पूरी कंट्री का भौगोलिक और ज्योग्राफिक इतिहास और ज्योग्राफिक स्थिति को नजर डाल के देखिए। नदी, नाले, बर्फ, पहाड़, जंगल, गर्मी, सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस का मूवमेंट कभी सोच के देखिए। दे विल बी मूविंग लाइक within 3 to 4 days between the gap in the phases, they will walk length and breadth of the country. उनके ऊपर प्रेशर कभी देखिए कितना होता होगा। कभी इलेक्शन मशीनरी की पूरी प्रोसेस, कभी एग्जाम्स, कभी फेस्टिवल्स, होली, रमजान, रामनवमी, पता नहीं क्या क्या फेस्टिवल्स बीच में। जब कैलेंडर पे हम लेके बैठते हैं तो एक डेट फिक्स करते हैं, दूसरे में चली जाती है, दूसरी फिक्स करते हैं, कहीं प्रॉब्लम आ जाती है। हम किसी को फेवर करने के लिए, किसी को नुकसान करने के लिए कोई भी एक्शन नहीं लेते, कोई भी एक्शन नहीं लेते। किसी को ऐसा भ्रम है तो वो गलत है। हम फैक्ट्स पे बात कर सकते हैं। जहां की जो मैंने कहा था, हर राज्य अपने आप में अलग अलग है। किसी राज्य में 1 में भी है, किसी राज्य में 7 में भी है। जिन राज्यों में 7 में है वहां का विस्तार बहुत बड़ा है, नंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट्री कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज बड़ी हैं, कंटेस्टेशन ज्यादा है, इसलिए वो 7 में है। माय फ्रेंड फ्रॉम दी तमिलनाडु हैज आस्क्ड, वहां 1 में है, लेकिन वहां दूसरा चैलेंज है जिसके लिए व्हाट ही हैज टॉक्ड अबाउट, देयर इज ए चैलेंज ऑफ मनी पावर इन दैट पर्टिकुलर स्टेट, एंड एज आई मेंशन्ड वी आर एक्सट्रीमली केयरफुल ऑफ व्हाट ही हैज आस्क्ड। इफ you learn it from the assembly elections which happened in another southern state recently. We have been able to cure that menace of money power to a very large extent, and we would control this. Please don't be worried. Similarly, I'll on the expenditure side take this question from BBC that how much we spend. Each candidate is allowed to spend in the parliamentary constituencies up to 80 lakhs, up to limit, and in the assembly up to 90 lakhs, and in the assembly up to 38. So if you combine amongst the candidates, that's the upper limit, which is the expenditure. You have asked about, somebody asked about EVMs. EVMs के बारे में मैं बहुत बार बता चुका हूं, लेकिन ठीक है, आपने फिर क्वेश्चन पूछा है तो, और देश में एक ऐसा अभियान भी चल रहा है जिसको बताना भी जरूरी है, इसलिए मैं थोड़ा विस्तार में बता ही देता हूं। वैसे बहुत बार बता चुका हूं, 40 बार लगभग इस देश की संवैधानिक कोर्ट्स, हाई कोर्ट्स एंड सुप्रीम कोर्ट्स ईवीएम के ऊपर में जितनी चुनौतियां हुई हैं उनको देख चुकी हैं। चुनौतियां किस प्रकार की हुई? ये हैक हो सकती है, चोरी हो जाती है, 19 लाख मिसिंग हैं, इसमें दिखाई नहीं देता है, ये कंप्यूटर से खराब हो जाती है, रिजल्ट्स बदल सकता है, मैनिपुलेट हो सकता है। हर बार संवैधानिक कोर्ट्स ने इसको रिजेक्ट किया है। क्या कहा है? कभी कहा कि इसमें वायरस लग ही नहीं सकता, नो क्वेश्चन ऑफ इंट्रोड्यूसिंग वायरस। कभी कहा इनवैलिड वोट्स नहीं हो सकते, कभी कहा रिगिंग इज नॉट पॉसिबल, कभी कहा कि व्हेन देयर इज सेक्शन 61A इन द आरपी एक्ट व्हिच एम्पावर्स द यूज ऑफ द ईवीएम, जब तक वो खत्म ना हो तब तक ये प्रश्न उठाना गलत है। कभी कहा कि ईवीएम्स आर फूल प्रूफ डिवाइसेस फॉर काउंटिंग एंड एलिगेशंस ऑफ टेम्परिंग आर बेसलेस। कभी कहा कि आप एक के बदले 5 वीवीपैट गिनिए, वो हमने शुरू कर दिया। अब तो ये आ गया है नतीजा कि कोर्ट्स ने जुर्माना लगाना शुरू कर दिया। 10,000 रुपए का जुर्माना लगाया, फिर माननीय उच्चतम न्यायालय ने 50,000 रुपए का जुर्माना लगाया। अभी फिर रिसेंटली माननीय उच्चतम न्यायालय ने एक पिटीशन खत्म की है। कितनी बार सुनेंगे? क्यों बार बार वही बिलाप करना है? कोई चीजें तो हमसे पूछिए। हैक नहीं हो सकती, किसी सूरत में नहीं हो सकती, एंड जो परिणाम आते हैं वही प्रमाण है। बार बार परिणाम आते हैं। कोई भी ईवीएम लेके बैठ जाता है सोशल मीडिया पे, वो डिब्बा लेके एक बैठ जाता है। और आजकल एक नया ट्रेंड शुरू हुआ है, वो थोड़ा सा एक्सपर्ट भी बन जाता है। आजकल 1-2 एक्सपर्ट भी चल रहे हैं सोशल मीडिया पे। वो कहाँ की डिग्री है, कहाँ के एक्सपर्ट हैं, थोड़ा देखना भी चाहिए। वो बताते हैं कि ये डिब्बा है, वो टूल बॉक्स जैसा डिब्बा होता है, उसके अंदर में क्या है पता नहीं है। उसमें से एक गत्ते के डिब्बे में से एक स्लिप भी निकलती है। वो धरना भी हो जाता है कि ये स्लिप बदल गई, मैंने यहाँ बटन दबाया था और यहाँ ही गलत निकल गई। भाई आपने क्या दबाया था, किसी को बताया था क्या? क्या निकला, किसी को बताया था क्या? अरे संविधान कोर्ट्स कह रही हैं। अच्छा, जितनी बार हमसे आप पूछेंगे उतनी बार हम उसका एक क्वेश्चन लेके आपको FAQs में have come into existence because of the EVMs. There are many smaller political parties which in the age of the ballot papers might have not come into the existence. It was the fairness and the political parties know in the heart of their hearts. सब EVMs का 3-3 बार मॉक पोल होता है, कैंडिडेट्स के सामने में होता है। फिर भी अगर कुछ आप किताब लाए हैं, किसी के पास है क्या? एक हमने किताब भी बनाई है, एक जितने लीगल केसेस 40 केस, देखिए तो चार्ट्स भी हैं। देखिए हमारी वेबसाइट पे है, ये थोड़ा पढ़ने का तो कष्ट करिए, खासतौर से जो एक्सपर्ट महोदय हैं। वो बहुत सारे एक्सपर्ट्स हैं यहाँ, मतलब कंट्री में कोई भी बन जाता है, किसी पे कोई रोक नहीं है। हमने इसमें चार्ट भी लगाया है कि कितनी बार सत्ता में रहने वाली पार्टियां ईवीएम ने बदल दी। तो मुझे भी ईवीएम पे फिर मैं रात सोच रहा था ये प्रश्न तो आएगा जरूर, तो फिर रात को मैंने कुछ लिखा अपने हाथ से, वो फिर आपको सुनाता हूं। अधूरी हसरतों का इल्जाम, अधूरी हसरतों का इल्जाम हर बार हम पर लगाना ठीक नहीं। ये ईवीएम कह रही है, मैं नहीं कह रहा हूं। अधूरी हसरतों का इल्जाम हर बार हम पे लगाना ठीक नहीं, वफा खुद से नहीं होती, खता ईवीएम की कहते हो। और बाद में गोया जब परिणाम आता है तो उस पर कायम भी नहीं रहते, आप ही के पक्ष में रिजल्ट आ जाता है। ये क्या बात है भाई? कितने दिन? EVMs are 100% safe, 100% sure. We know now. In last 2 years, again, we have done large number of improvements. एक EVM की नंबर जो भी किस बूथ पे जाएगी वो कैंडिडेट को दिया जाएगा, इसलिए इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। नाउ जो MCC के बारे में प्रश्न पूछा, जिसमें आप ये पूछना चाह रहे हैं कि हम बायस्ड होके किसी के खिलाफ एक्शन लेते हैं, किसी के खिलाफ नहीं लेते, यही आप प्रश्न बेसिकली पूछना चाह रही हैं। पूछना नहीं चाह रही हैं, आरोप लगा रही हैं, इसका मुझे जवाब आपको देना चाहिए। करेक्ट, वेरी राइट, यू हैव ए क्वेश्चन राइट टू आस्क। आप पिछले 8-10 11 इलेक्शंस की सारे आरोप जितने हमारे पास आए हैं वो सबको एक बार पढ़िए। सबको पढ़ने के बाद सबके नोटिसेस देखिए जो हमने दिए हैं, उसमें जहां जहां कोई भी वायलेशन एस्टेब्लिश होता हो उस नोटिस के बाद जवाब आने के बाद भी हमने ऐसा नहीं है सब में कार्रवाई की। वी आर वेरी, एज आई सेड, दे आर काइंड ऑफ ए मोरल सेंसर विच वी हैव इन द बिगिनिंग इशूड। और जिस किसी के भी खिलाफ में अगर कहीं भी कोई केस बनेगा, हाउसएवर हाई स्टार कैंपेनर he or she may be, we will not sit back, we will take action. Next.
Sir, we'll take some questions from that side. Yeah, the middle row. There is a gentleman who is holding both his hands up. उनको दे दीजिए।
थोड़ा जल्दी दें।
Yes sir.
माइक के लोग थोड़ा जल्दी दें।
थोड़ा माइक जरा जल्दी दीजिए। वो सेंट्रल रो में है, वो हाथ उठा रहे हैं वो।
जी मैं आशीष हूँ अमर उजाला डिजिटल से। मेरा सवाल है सर, जो आपने अभी 4M की बात की थी उसके लिए क्या कोई एडिशनल डिप्लॉयमेंट आपने किया है? अगर किया है तो वो क्या है सर?
Just yeah, give it to him there. Yeah, please.
मैं राजस्थान पत्रिका से नवनीत मिश्रा हूँ। अभी इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड पे जिस तरीके से घमासान मचा हुआ है और सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी उस सिस्टम को खत्म कर दिया है, और जो चुनावी चंदे की जो पारदर्शिता की बातें होती है तो उसके लिए वो सिस्टम लाया गया था। तो आयोग का अगला कदम क्या होगा, क्योंकि इसके बाद से कैश की चुनौती है वो बढ़ेगी चुनाव में।
Sir, Sunil Prabhu from NDTV. Just two, three points, because you just now made a comment that every EVM has a number, and your own commission had asked for a totalizer. That totalizer has not happened because, if you wanted in the essence of free and fair election, then you should not be identified. The others you said disclose. In the interest of the general public, and now we can't get from Mr. Arun Goel because he hasn't only cited personal reasons. In the best interest of the commission, would you be able to disclose what exactly happened? Why did Mr. Arun Goel, who worked with you and sadly is not here today in this entire process, if you can come clean about what exactly happened, what were the differences that led to his sudden and abrupt exit?
That's Ravi Tripathi, DD News. Go over there. Yeah.
सर मैं रवि त्रिपाठी हूँ जी न्यूज से। मेरा सवाल ये है कि एक तो सीट के नंबर जो सर आपने दिए हैं वो 543 के बजाय 544 हो रहे हैं काउंट करने पर, ऐसा क्यों है? ये एक तो जानकारी। और दूसरा कि मॉडल कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट का जो सवाल खड़ा किया हमारे किसी दोस्त ने कि बार बार विपक्ष ये सवाल खड़ा करता है, तो पिछली बार उन्होंने नाम दिया कि मोदी कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट, जिसमें मोदी के खिलाफ आप सॉफ्ट होते हैं और राहुल गांधी के खिलाफ आप ज्यादा एक्शन लेते हैं। ऐसा क्यों होता है? ऐसा आरोप क्यों लगता है चुनाव आयोग?
Gentleman next to you. Yeah.
सर नीरज हूँ न्यूज 18 इंडिया से। सर पहले तो चुनाव आयोग को बहुत बहुत बधाई कि आप लोग पूरी कंप्लीट टीम हो गए हैं दोनों चुनाव आयुक्तों को, और इस बड़ी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस के माध्यम से हम लोग का वास्ता हो रहा है। हमारा सवाल ये है कि ये तो हमें अंदाजा था कि जम्मू और कश्मीर में विधानसभा के चुनाव नहीं होंगे इस बार, लेकिन ऐसा क्यों किया है? हालांकि आपके पास वक्त है, कोर्ट ने भी आपको वक्त दिया है। जम्मू कश्मीर में विधानसभा चुनाव न कराए जाने की क्या वजह है?
Yeah, the gentleman. Yeah, do it. Yes.
Sir, my name is K.N. Ashok. I used to be former editor of PTI. I also write a lot of political articles from New York. So I just wanted to know, I was just following the Federal Election Commission of the US, which publishes on its website the amount of money raised by presidential candidates. Like, say, it has just come out only yesterday. Biden has raised about $106 million. Trump has raised $88 million. Nikki Haley has raised about $48 million, and Vivek Ramaswamy has raised about $24 million. Is it possible for the Election Commission of India to publish such kind of details of not the candidates, but the parties? How much have they raised for the 2024 elections?
Yeah, thank you. CC will take questions.
Now let me answer these questions first. Very critical, very important questions. What are in everybody's discussion during this time, and it is necessary that one clears the stand on that. So first of all, I must congratulate that you have calculated it's 544, not 543. I never guessed that anybody would so quickly calculate this. कि ये 543 सीटें तो 544 टोटल में कैसे आ गई? एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में 2 बार इलेक्शन होंगे, विच इज इन मणिपुर, तो वो 2 बार काउंट हो रहा है, इसलिए 544. So this is the first part of yours. Let me come to Mr. Prabhu. You asked the questions on totalizer. I entirely agree with you that booth-wise.
All right, and with that, this is the big announcement that we're bringing to you. The election dates, as far as the Lok Sabha election is concerned, have finally been announced by the CEC, Mr. Rajiv Kumar, and as has been announced, this will be a 7-phase poll that will be conducted, just like the year 2019. At the same time, let's also break down for you what this will be looking like as far as the entire 7-phase poll is concerned. We are also bringing to you the dates that are taking place. Remember, there will be Arunachal Pradesh, Andaman and Nicobar, Andhra Pradesh, Chandigarh, which will be going to polls during the first phase. During the second poll, you can expect Karnataka, Rajasthan, Tripura, Manipur to be going to polls. These polls will be conducted in fact, under 3 poll dates that have been given. 4 poll dates have, in fact, been given for Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand. 5 poll dates have been given for Maharashtra, Jammu and Kashmir, and UP, Bihar, and West Bengal will be conducted in the 7th poll. As far as the phases are concerned, 7 phases. What's interesting is the kind of questions that have also been posed, especially with regards to the EVMs, the kind of suspicion that has also been posed by the opposition parties when it comes to the tampering of EVMs, something that the Election Commission has also answered today. And soon after the dates were announced, the opposition has, of course, come up with the attack. Omar Abdullah has, in fact, taken to platform X, saying that so much for one election, one poll, that now there is no election date being announced for Jammu and Kashmir. Payal, when you draw a comparison of these dates with the year 2019, how massive it is. What also caught my attention was the tagline of how this is the biggest dance of democracy now that the entire world will be witnessing.
Well, of course, the world has definitely looked forward to Indian elections because they are massive in nature as well, and that's something which has been prophesized time and again. It's, remember, a deep, entrenched exercise that takes place. It takes about 2 years of preparation. The Election Commission team travels to the length and breadth of the country. To every possible situation, they try to assess their preparedness as far as that is concerned, whether it's security, whether it's availability of resources, availability of polling stuff. So it's a deep, deep, deep-rooted exercise of democracy that India really does, and India probably takes a lot of pride in it, because you've also had a lot of foreign nations who wanted to come and see how the elections are held in India as well. Having said that, the elections on the expected lines. It's a 7-phase election. Big states like UP, Bihar, Bengal go into 7 phases. Essentially something which the BJP had also been demanding, especially in Bengal. You have the state of Uttar Pradesh going from the election in the same way, from the western part of the state to the eastern part of the state. The big states of Gujarat, etc., will also go into polls as well. A lot of indication in place of how the northeast states will take place, and of course dates also announced for the assembly polls, because remember there are 4 states that go into polls simultaneously along with the Lok Sabha elections as well. 543 seats up for grab. Every political party is going to be prepared for the big match, and of course for the BJP it holds a special significance given the fact that they have been in government for a decade. They've been in government for 2 terms. They are already on course to, in fact, get their 3rd term. That's the kind of confidence that they enjoy. And that's the reason Prime Minister Narendra Modi has multiple times said that once his government comes back to power, then they will take up the priority issues, and they also take up the issue of the Viksit Bharat journey. So we'll have to just wait and see how it transpires, because the battle will now begin. The daggers are going to be out. And of course, the Election Commission issuing a stern warning to the political parties to make sure they do not lower the level as far as political discourse is concerned. Because throughout the entire election process, time and again, Akansha, you see warnings being issued, to various leaders for actually making statements that are completely uncalled for, and probably statements being made against each other. So there are a lot of model code violations that are also issued against people. We'll have to just wait and see. It's a very, very exciting phase as far as India is concerned. As the Prime Minister said, it's looking up to the journey for the next 25 years.
Absolutely, a journey for the next 25 years. On that note, let me also bring in Aman and Pallavi, who are currently present with us in the studio. Aman, what caught my attention was unprecedented scale, unmatched anywhere in the world. Also, some very positive developments were highlighted by the CEC when he said that there's been a high rise as far as female voters are concerned, not to forget that rising population of the first-time voters. Take us through what have been the highlights for the general election 2024.
Well, Akanksha, first thing, I think it's a very long election. So we are looking at the first phase on April 19th, the last phase on June 1st, and the results on June 4th.
Right.
So last time the results had come on May 23rd, if I'm not wrong. So about 10 days later, we'll see the results this time on June 4th. 7 phases like last time. The 3 big states, UP, West Bengal and Bihar, will be polling in 7 phases as the last time. UP is polling in the same manner, starts from the west, ends at the east. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi's constituency of Varanasi will be polling the first phase is very heavy. On 19th April, we are seeing as many as 102 seats going to polls in the first phase. Entire state of Tamil Nadu is polling in the first phase itself. So that is a big thing, that the big southern state and very vital state of Tamil Nadu polling on 19th April. So it's almost here and the parties will have to...
I'm going to stop you right there. Pallavi, do you think that this has been a conscious decision when you see the southern state of Tamil Nadu come in phase 1, considering we've already seen Prime Minister make a very conscious push over there?
Well, I mean, as I said, I mean, I think when we heard the Chief Election Commissioner he talked about the fact that we have to take multiple, kind of factors into mind. There's a weather factor, of course, which is going to be in mind. There's a terrain factor, and also the deployment, the movement of the forces becomes very important, So if there's a large number of deployment of forces, say in UP, then how do you move them down south? So those factors have also been kept in mind when you have decided. And, like he said, this is a work in progress. This is something which we really have been stressing upon. All of those who have been criticizing the fact that just a single person has been deciding on the poll schedule, that's not the way it works. State by state analysis goes on, what kind of forces we require. You have a small cartel of those deployment of forces. I mean, you just move them. You have this entire paraphernalia. There is the administration, there are workers, there are school teachers. All of them are involved. So you have to keep on ensuring that also that movement becomes easy. So that ease of movement, deployment are also important factors. So what I suspect is that once they finish off with, say, the southern states by 19, mostly by April, 19th of April, then you use those forces and the administration to move on to other very critical, sensitive areas. West Bengal being one of them, UP being them, Manipur, which is again voting in 2 phases, Jammu and Kashmir, of course. So these are the factors which I think have been kept in mind.
Absolutely. Payal, if I could bring you in on those aspects, something that the CEC was also mentioning was that the weather, of course, has also been kept in mind as one of the crucial factors, not to forget that the security review has already been done by the Election Commission, for which an entire survey was conducted. What are those factors that have been kept in mind?
Well, various factors. Most importantly, you have to make sure that you can provide adequate security and you can provide adequate polling opportunities and poll agents. That has been there on everybody's mind. Weather is something which is not in anybody's control. But just to give you the bad news, that Kiran Rijiju, the weather minister of the country presently, had said this a couple of weeks ago, that we are looking at a major heat wave in the month of April in the northern part of the country. So that's something which, of course, the Election Commission will certainly watch out for, because terrain, weather, all of these are extremely important, especially states like the northeast, which have a hilly terrain in place. So it's not a preparation which happens over the last couple of months. There are probably a couple of years that are put into. Multiple officers are sent to all the states of the country. They do a detailed review, not only about the polling conditions. In some places, that's the beauty of the democracy of the country. And Pallavi will agree that in some places, you have to set up a polling booth for even one voter to come out and vote. So that's the kind of power that we have. That's the kind of a reason that we tell everyone to come out and vote and cast that crucial ballot, because you can actually decide on who you want to bring to power. So that's the kind of effort and exercise that is put in. But of course, the ball is now rolling. We'll have to just wait and see. And at present, I'm sure Pallavi will agree with me. We are all going bonkers in just figuring out which state is going to force vote in which phases, which constituency is going into vote into which phases, because there are multiple states that are going into multiple phases. And of course, the crucial states of Bengal, Bihar, Maharashtra, these are going to be the states to watch out for, where of course the battle is absolutely bitter between the rival parties.
Right. But the other state that, everybody was in fact also looking out for was Jammu and Kashmir. And that was missing as far as the announcements are concerned. Aman, if I could bring you in on that aspect, do you think that the lack of a date for Jammu and Kashmir at the moment is going to now give more ammo to the opposition, something we've already seen begin with an Omar Abdullah taking that attack to X.
Well, Omar Abdullah has said, that where is the concept of one nation, one election? Of course, the JNK parties, when the Election Commission also traveled to Jammu and Kashmir recently, all the parties there had in fact said that there should be simultaneous elections of the Lok Sabha and the State Assembly. So that has not happened. The reasons, Kansha, I believe, are these, that, presently the forces availability is an issue. What I have been told that about 635 companies have been allotted for JNK Lok Sabha elections. But if the assembly elections also had to be done alongside, then 700 more companies would have been required. That kind of availability is not there, because already 900 companies are going to West Bengal and a total of 3,400 companies have been given. So the force availability in Kashmir was a big issue. When you have an assembly election in Kashmir, you have to also safeguard the candidates. There are more polling booths, more assembly constituencies, of course. So that kind of force, 700 extra companies were simply not available. Now we are looking at a JNK election, maybe post the Amarnath Yatra. There's a window between mid-August to September 30th when the state assembly election in Jammu and Kashmir may be held.
All right. In fact, reactions have also started pouring in. Let's also listen into what Congress MP Shashi Tharoor has had to say.
Planning and calculations. For us, it's another extra 10 days. As somebody who's been around the constituency for the last 15 years, a week more, 10 days more is not needed for me to introduce myself to the electorate. But perhaps for the new candidate who's come for the first time, that could turn out to be a blessing for him in terms of giving him more time. On the flip side, on the other hand, it gives the voters more time to realize what he stands for and what his party stands for. So these things cut both ways. I'm not going to be reading too much into the date. It was a point of information we all needed to make our plans for. But I don't think we're going to change anything. My Parliament convention, the traditional nominating convention we have here, is still scheduled for the 19th of March, and we'll go ahead with that. Then we have the 7 assembly conventions in the following week, and all those will happen. And we'll spend, of course, pretty much.
All right, Arunima has also been tracking all the latest developments for us. Arunima, what stood out today also was the bravado with which the CEC also fielded all those questions. One of them, of course, was to do with Arun Goel's resignation. Do take our viewers through what he had to say in the Election Commission's defense.
So he said that, there is personal space that is granted to everybody within the Election Commission. That is the kind of protocol that they have. I think he was trying to underline what Arun Goel also said, and that notification that came from Law Ministry also cited his health reasons. So there's no clear disclosure as to what really happened, because he was scheduled to visit Jammu and Kashmir after he came back from West Bengal. He put in his papers. After that, he was scheduled to go to Jammu and Kashmir. So what really changed? Health reasons is the only thing that we know on record. All that the CEC said today is that he was a distinguished colleague. We had a great time working together, but we do not push our boundaries. We do give everyone their personal space, and that's exactly what we did this time around. When he said that he wanted to step down, his interests were kept in mind by the government, and we respected his views.
All right. In fact, I'm going to request you, Arunima, to continue staying with us. We are getting in more voices soon after that announcement was made by the Chief Election Commissioner. Let's also listen in to more reactions that have come in.
Joining me now is very special guest, the Deputy Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Shri Keshav Prasad Maurya. सर, आपकी मुस्कुराहट बता रही है कि ऐसा जान पड़ता है कि बीजेपी जीतने जा रही है।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी जीतने जा रही है, फिर एक बार मोदी सरकार बनने जा रही है। इस बार 400 पार। 2014 का नारा था 272 प्लस 283 जीते। 2019 का नारा था 300 पार 303 जीते, और 2024 का नारा भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लिए 370 प्लस का है। 370 प्लस भाजपा का कमल खिलेगा, और 400 पार भाजपा गठबंधन की जीत होगी। इसको लेकर के कोई शंका नहीं है।
एक आपने राइमिंग बनाई है 0-0-0 विपक्ष पे हमला करने के लिए, वो राइमिंग जरा
नहीं, मैंने कहा 4 जून को मतगणना है, तो 4 जून सपा बसपा कांग्रेस या इंडी गठबंधन 0-0-0।
ये राइमिंग बनाई है केशव जी ने, तुरंत बनाई है जैसे ही चुनाव आयोग ने। अच्छा, आप पीछे भी कुछ बता रहे हैं कि सबसे बड़ा हमारा जो नेता है, जो सबसे बड़ा चेहरा है, मोदी जी है। वो भी जरा सुनिए।
हमारे आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी हर लोकसभा सीट पे प्रत्याशी हमारे प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी हैं। हमारा चुनाव निशान कमल का फूल है। बाकी सब कुछ जाओ भूल, याद रखो नरेंद्र मोदी और कमल का फूल। और इसमें मैंने लिखा हुआ है, आपने देखा, स्वर्णिम भारत के 5 पॉइंट, विकसित भारत, गुलामी की मानसिकता से मुक्ति, विरासत पर गर्व, एकता और एकजुटता, नागरिकों का कर्तव्य। जो चुनाव आयोग ने भी कहा है, अधिकार तो हमारे हैं, लेकिन मतदान हमारा कर्तव्य भी है, इसलिए भारी मतदान करें। अगर भाजपा ने अच्छा कार्य किया है तो सबका आशीर्वाद मिलेगा और हमें पूरा भरोसा, हमने जनता का भरोसा जीता है, चुनाव भी इसीलिए जीतेंगे और मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में फिर सरकार।
केशव जी, आप एक लेगेसी से आते हैं, जब कभी भी आपने चुनाव में आपके तरफ से ऐसे शब्द या अल्फाज नहीं यूज किए गए हैं, और तो यही चीज आपसे जानना चाहूंगा, आप स्वयं नेता, तो चुनाव आयोग ने भी आज ये बात कही कि भाई ऐसी भाषा का प्रयोग ना करें, शैली का प्रयोग ना करें, तो उस पर आपका क्या मत है?
चुनाव आयोग के इस विचार का, इस निर्देश का भारतीय जनता पार्टी पहले भी पालन करती थी, आज भी पालन करते हैं। विपक्ष में कोई भी नेता, लोकतंत्र है, लोकतंत्र में अपनी अपनी पार्टी की ओर से एक दूसरे के खिलाफ प्रचार में अगर विपक्ष ने कुछ गड़बड़ किया है तो सत्ता पक्ष की ओर से हम चुनाव में जा रहे हैं फिर से सत्ता में आने के लिए, तो हम उनके कार्यालय कारनामे जो होंगे उसको जनता के सामने रखेंगे। अगर हमारी सरकार ने गड़बड़ किया होगा तो वह रख सकते हैं, लेकिन विचारधारा के मुद्दे पर आप आइए, कोई व्यक्तिगत टिप्पणियों से बचना चाहिए और आप शब्दों का प्रयोग निश्चित तौर से चुनाव में कहीं
आखिरी सवाल, मुझे पता है बहुत ज्यादा व्यस्त है, राशन, सुशासन, राम मंदिर, सीएए, चारों तरफ से जिसे कहते हैं चक्रव्यूह बीजेपी ने बना दिया और विपक्ष कहीं न कहीं बीच में फंसता रहता है। अगर यूपी के दृष्टिकोण से बात करें, क्योंकि हम भी क्षेत्र में घूम रहे हैं, तो जो हमें फीडबैक मिल रहा है,
नहीं, आपके जो फीडबैक हैं वो और होंगे, लेकिन हमारा संगठनात्मक तंत्र बूथ स्तर तक मजबूत है, हमारी उपलब्धियों का अंबार।
All right, a very confident Keshav Prasad Maurya over there declaring that this time is going to be BJP NDA yet again. And as we speak, Prime Minister Modi has also taken to X to declare that India is ready for the great festival of democracy. And in fact, Aman will be taking us through a string of tweets coming in from the Prime Minister. Take us through what the Prime Minister has had to say. Aman, he's already declared that this time is 400 par.
He's saying that the people are saying in one voice, "Ab ki baar 400 par." So the Prime Minister has laid out his big aim. Soon after the election schedule has been announced, he's called it the biggest festival of democracy is here. He said the BJP NDA is fully prepared for these elections. So clearly, BJP has already declared about 265 plus candidates. Already PM has already hit the campaign trail. He's in South India. He's begun his campaign trail early. Usually the Prime Minister hits the campaign trail after candidates have filed their nominations. But this time, since 265 plus candidates have already been declared by the BJP, even before the election schedule was announced, the Prime Minister has already hit the political campaign. Prime Minister also putting out his development record, saying that 10 years ago when we assumed office, people were feeling betrayed and disillusioned. Thanks to the India Alliance pathetic governance, no section was left untouched by scams and policy paralysis. And from there, it's been a glorious turnaround. People are saying in one voice, "Ab ki baar 400 par."
Pallavi, I don't think I've heard seen the Prime Minister send out such a string of tweets in the recent past. In fact, as he's been extremely active soon after that announcement was made, as has been shared by Aman also. Let's take our viewers through some of the statements that he's saying. Is that our opposition is rudderless and issueless. All they can do is abuse us and practice vote bank politics. Their dynastic approach and attempts of dividing society are not being accepted. Equally hurting them is their corruption track record. People don't want such leadership. The message is loud and clear, Pallavi. We all know who he's hitting out at.
Well, the battle has truly and officially begun, actually, frankly speaking, today. So this is absolutely going to be the crux of the campaign of the Prime Minister and of the BJP, and clearly PM obviously is the face of this campaign. But look at the note of confidence. I mean, apart from attacking the opposition where it hurts them the most, the fact is that when he's talking about a rudderless opposition, well, that's really the perception, Akansha, which people do have about the India front. Ironically, the Bharat Jodo Yatra ends tomorrow. It's going to be an attempt at a show of strength by the India front in Mumbai tomorrow. But missing would be parties like the TMC. So the rudderless opposition that the PM is talking about is an indication of that. So when he goes to the people and he's going to talk about the fact that here we are talking about 370 or 400 par, here we are very clear on what we are going to offer you for the next 5 years, a Viksit Bharat. But what is it that the opposition is going to give you? Are they going to give you an alternative? Are they even together? They are fighting with each other. They cannot decide on the seat sharing. So do you want to vote for a stable government which is going to bring you progress and development? Or do you want to vote for a bunch of political parties who come together only for the time being and who clearly don't know what they want to offer you? So I think here on the battle has really begun. The pitch or the electoral slogan has also been very clearly given out by the PM, and that's the cue really for the rest of his party colleagues.
Absolutely. Aman, one of the other tweets coming in from the Prime Minister says that the war against poverty and corruption will go on at an even faster pace. The emphasis on social justice will be strong. So that's the message that you can see Prime Minister not just convey on the social media platform, but something that he was also delivering, has been delivering when he's sort of escalating his attack against those parties, whether it is the DMK or attacking the Congress today in Karnataka. We all know he's in Kalaburgi today. That happens to be the Congress bastion for Mallikarjun Kharge, where he's in fact attacked both the parties for corruption, for scams, for being anti-women, and that is exactly the tonality that you can sense on X as well.
Well, Akansha, he's also speaking about his third term. He's already laying out the agenda for Modi 3.0. Very interestingly, he's attacked the opposition, but has also said what his government will do in its third term. He's saying there's much work to be done. The last decade was about filling gaps created by those who ruled for 70 years, but this time it is about war against poverty and corruption will go on at an even faster pace. And, this has been one of the government's big achievements, which the government has been citing, bringing 35 crore people out of multidimensional poverty, something which has been, backed by even foreign agencies now saying that India's extreme poverty level may be down to just 2%. PM saying that the war against poverty and corruption will go on, and we've seen how ED has been acting against corruption, and that has been something that the government has been citing repeatedly. The emphasis on social justice will be strong. This is also another important point at a time when the opposition is making the issue of caste as its central pitch in these elections. He also saying that we will work towards making India the third largest global economy. I can clearly see that in the coming 5 years, a collective resolve establishing the roadmap for the next 1,000 years, the Prime Minister is saying. And in the end, he's saying he's also speaking about how the poor, the farmers, the Nari Shakti are all saying,
that's exactly the point that I want to take up with Payal also. I'm being told Payal also wants to pitch, and Payal, one very interesting tweet of the Prime Minister talks about how he derives great strength from people's blessings, especially the poor, the farmers, the Yuva, and even the Nari Shakti. He is in fact, this is the kind of Jan Bhagidari when the Prime Minister talks about Jan Bhagidari.
For many people, Akansha, who've interacted with the Prime Minister, in public platforms and also privately, they have always asked him what really drives him and what really pushes him to work as well. So his answer has always been that he wants to work for the cause of the people. So the most interesting tweet that I found in the series of tweets is when he says he derives great strength from people's blessings, especially the poor, the farmers, the Nari Shakti, the Yuva that he's always stressed a lot upon. And he says, when they say, "Main Modi ka parivar hu," it fills me with joy and makes me work harder and build a Viksit Bharat. The Modi government has already revised its plans for a Viksit Bharat in the next 5 years, and they look at a journey for the next 25 years. The Prime Minister clearly has said that the cause of the common man is the highest as far as his government's progress is concerned, as far as his government's focus is concerned, and that's the reason they say that if the opposition is rudderless and if they decided to stay in the opposition benches for the longest, it's not their fault. It's probably the opposition to really consider about. So look at the confidence with which the Prime Minister really says. He says, we are completely prepared for the election. We're going to go to the people with a proven track record. We have shown what we've done for every strata of society, and here we are, and we have a plan for you in the future, whether it's a woman, whether it's the poor, whether it's the Yuvas. That's the kind of confidence that you see the Prime Minister really exuberating. And mind you, he's also looking at building a record in itself. He's going to become a Prime Minister for the third time in a row, and the BJP and the NDA is going to create a record by forming a government third time in a row. At least that's what the confidence that the BJP and the NDA really have had. But the Prime Minister says that what gives him extreme joy is that when opposition parties question as to who his family is, he's joyful, he's happy, he's blessed. He's grateful that the people of the country consider him to be Modi ka parivar.
Absolutely, and that also makes me take another question from Arunima as far as the BJP pitch is concerned. Little did Lalu Yadav in fact realize when he was making that jibe about Modi ka parivar that he's in fact going to be serving this on a platter to Prime Minister Modi, and that will in fact become the pitch for the Bharatiya Janata Party in the year 2024, because Arunima, that's exactly what he said today when they say "Main hu Modi ka parivar," it fills me with joy and makes me work harder to build a Viksit Bharat.
Well, looks like a seasoned politician, also, like Lalu Yadav, has also not really learned from history as to how Prime Minister and the Bharatiya Janata Party turn everything into an opportunity. Maut ka saudagar, chaukidar chor hai, and now Modi ka parivar nahi hai. Every one of those, allegations have been turned into an opportunity, and this time is no different. The moment Lalu Prasad Yadav in that rally in Patna said that he doesn't have a family and that's why he doesn't care, we saw how this has become a campaign issue, and now ahead of elections, Prime Minister himself taking it on himself to tell the countrymen that you're all my family and therefore I want to work the hardest to ensure that your issues are resolved.
Absolutely. Aman, if I could talk about the similarities and the differences this time around, even though it's a 7-phase election compared to 2019, what are the similarities first of all?
I think the similarities, UP and Bihar. So Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, the two key heartland states with 120 seats together, they are polling again in 7 phases and again in the same manner. So Uttar Pradesh votes from west to the east. So the Prime Minister's constituency goes to poll in the last phase, in fact, on June 1st. And we see the West UP seats, Muzaffarnagar, Bagpat, Meerut, polling in the first phase. So that is the same pattern as we've seen in 2019 or even in the recent assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh. Bihar is also polling in almost in the same manner as the last time. So that looks very similar. West Bengal is again polling in 7 phases because, of course, the highest number of paramilitary forces are going to West Bengal, 900 plus odd companies, because the center and the EC both anticipate that it's going to be a challenging election in West Bengal, especially after the Sandesh Kali violence. I see Maharashtra voting in 5 phases. Last time it voted in 4 phases, if I'm not wrong. So that is a change. Odisha and MP are all, Jharkhand are still proposing in 4 phases like the last time.
So is the national capital.
So is the national capital. So not much changes, only that Delhi is polling in phase 6. So we'll have to really wait for the voting in Delhi to happen. The two important South Indian states, Tamil Nadu is polling in the phase 1 and Kerala is entirely polling in phase 2. So two major South Indian states will be done. Polling will be done by April 26th itself. So these two big states where also BJP is looking to make some gains. Our opinion poll has predicted that the BJP NDA could win 5 seats in Tamil Nadu and 2 seats in Kerala. So these states are polling early. Gujarat, the BJP stronghold state, is polling in phase 3 on May 7th. So this is all 26 seats go to polls together. Haryana is polling in phase 6. Punjab is polling the last in phase 7 on June the 1st.
Interesting observations, in fact. And as we speak, more political reactions coming in. Let's also listen in to what DK Shiv Kumar has to say of the Congress party.
The dates are announced. It's a pretty long election season. It's starting on the 19th of April. Election results will be out on the 4th of June. Tamil Nadu goes to polls on 19. How prepared is the DMK?
DMK is always prepared because of our performances and the non-performance of the BJP. There are 2 counts. One, the DMK state government is performing well. They are supporting the people. They are working for the cause of the poor and neglected sections of the society. Industrial growth is very good. And we are doing everything to the people of Tamil Nadu. But the BJP had failed in all areas. They are ignoring Tamil Nadu. They are cheating Tamil Nadu. They are not even giving the money due to Tamil Nadu so that the people of Tamil Nadu will suffer. They want the people of Tamil Nadu to suffer. So people will not choose BJP. So we are confident that India Alliance will win all the 39 seats in the state along with 1 in Pondicherry.
Okay. So my next question to you is, Congress, DMK, while you've made a pact, constituency-wise, candidate-wise, when can we expect those? Because we just have a month to go for Tamil Nadu to go to polls. What is the development on that front?
No, in a day or 2 it will be fixed. No, we have asked them for a change of a few constituencies because of we are working on the winnability. If we find that some constituency is better for the DMK to contest and some constituency is better for the Congress to contest, we want it that way. That is nothing wrong in it. The question of winnability is there. That is why we are discussing with them, and they have accepted. They are not against it because they also want to win all the 10 constituencies they are contesting. So I think we will win all the 40 constituencies. In a day or 2, everything will be finalized.
Right. So Prime Minister's frequent visit to the southern part of the country, more so in Tamil Nadu, how do you see this? BJP says that they are gaining momentum in the state and that's why Prime Minister is visiting the state. But how do you see Prime Minister's frequent visit to Tamil Nadu, and Kerala?
Prime Minister, their party is weak and they cannot win. That is why Prime Minister is visiting very often. His visit is only during the election time. Earlier he did not come here. How many times he had come? He does not know the history of Tamil Nadu. He talks something which is against what he has done to Tamil Nadu. Simple thing. In the union public sector undertaking situated in Tamil Nadu, they are appointing only people from the north. Tamil Nadu youth, the youth of Tamil Nadu is denied employment in those organizations, be it NLC or BHEL or Avadi or Railway, anywhere. Even in two banks, Indian Bank and Indian Overseas Bank, which has the capital of their headquarters at Tamil Nadu, they are not employing people from Tamil Nadu. So they are cheating the people of Tamil Nadu. And the people know. Everybody knows. Even in times of crisis, the government is not supporting Tamil Nadu by giving the due share to the state. They are giving 29 paise per rupee collected as tax, and they are giving 2 rupees to UP per rupee collected as tax, which means they don't want to support Tamil Nadu.
All right. From Tamil Nadu, let's now shift focus over to Jammu and Kashmir. What the reactions have been like. Ishan Wani has spoken to the NC spokesperson. Let's listen to what he has to say.
CEC today announced polls for Lok Sabha, but the political parties in the valley feel a little disappointed given the fact that there are no assembly polls which are going to take place simultaneously in Jammu and Kashmir. To speak more about this, I have with me Imran Naveed Dar, who's the chief spokesperson of the National Conference. Imran, how do you see this announcement?
It is not the political parties who are disappointed today. I think everybody, whether in Jammu, Kashmir, or any other area of Jammu and Kashmir, everybody is disappointed. People had pinned hopes on this press conference, and they were expecting that at least their cries and their problems would be heard, and ECI would announce assembly elections. But it was not to be. No elections have been announced. Very unfortunate, and we fail to understand what stopped ECI to announce elections, because right now you had everything in place. The security paraphernalia, every bandobast was there. It is bizarre, and the justification that has come out from the CEC is equally bizarre. He's saying that the local administration has given them inputs about security issues. Then what is the security apparatus doing? Then who are they fooling? They have been saying, if you check newspapers, the local administration continues to make tall claims of normalcy. They say that n number of tourists are visiting J&K. When for them, when they have to do propaganda, then the situation is okay. But when it comes to giving people the power to govern themselves and to make officers accountable, then they say that situation is not normal.
All right, our correspondents Arunima and Payal continue to be with us. Arunima, you heard what Imran Naveed Dar had to say, and clearly the opposition's got plenty of ammo now, with Jammu and Kashmir not going to polls as was expected earlier. But having said that, has there been any clarification in terms of why the poll dates for J&K have not been announced today? All right, we'll take that question from Payal. Payal, what one wants to know is what is the reasoning behind Jammu and Kashmir not going to simultaneous polls along with the general election?
Well, all along the union government has been saying that they would not like to take the mandate of the people of Jammu and Kashmir for granted, and they were committed to making it back into a state. That's something, statehood restoration has been something which Amit Shah has said on the floor of the House, is committed on the floor of the House. But one has to understand, like Arunima has constantly been reporting in great detail, that if you have to hold elections simultaneously for Jammu and Kashmir, the security personnel deployment has to be very, very intensely matched for, because each and every person who's contesting for the election will have to be given personal security. So that's the kind of a security setup that you really require, and that's something which probably the Election Commission felt might not be possible at this point in time, given the fact that you have certain sensitive states and sensitive areas. For example, you'll need a great deployment in security in Bengal. You need it in the northeast region, especially Manipur, which has been on the boil for the last 1 year plus. You obviously need it in Chhattisgarh, which is, of course, the Naxal impacted area. So all of these things is something which the Election Commission has been doing, and the Election Commission does not take these decisions on their own, Akanksha. Whenever they do a deployment, whenever they want to do anything of that sort, they're constantly in touch with the Ministry of Home Affairs, because the security deployment, the paramilitary deployment has to be done by the Ministry of Home Affairs. But the government of the day has been saying that they would definitely like to see that election really happen. And now that the deadline is staring at us in September, we'll hopefully see several elections taking place at that point in time. So despite the criticism that is coming from the opposition parties, and rightly so, because many political parties feel that there is no need to have a governance rule in place over there. There is no need for J&K to be made into a union territory. But that commitment that statehood will be restored has been made by none other than the Home Minister himself on the floor of the Parliament.
Right. Aman, the deadline, of course, that was given is 30th of September, and we should now expect them to take place any time before the 30th of September. Having said that, Jammu and Kashmir was also reviewed as far as the EC top brass is concerned. They held a security review there, also met the Home Ministry officials. What have your sources told you about what was deduced from that meeting?
See, the thing is, Akanksha, that Jammu and Kashmir is a bit complex state when you have to take a Lok Sabha and an assembly election together. Now, the Supreme Court has fixed a deadline of September 30th, but right now when the Election Commission team visited J&K, the forces that have been allotted for J&K is about 635 to 640 companies for the Lok Sabha election, but the assessment is that I have to do a simultaneous assembly election. We need at least 700 more companies of forces for an assembly, because number of candidates are more, number of polling booths are more, of course, it's state is sensitive. That kind of availability right now, as Payal was saying, is not there, because there is also force need 900 companies are going to Bengal. There's also big deployment going to happen. We feel in Manipur, in states, which are sensitive, in Chhattisgarh, in Jharkhand, the Naxal affected states. So it was not possible to deploy so many forces. The calendar is a bit complex, because soon after, if we are seeing a June 4th result, soon after that, the Amarnath Yatra begins in Kashmir. So during the Amarnath Yatra, obviously the elections can't be held, because the forces which go to J&K most probably for these Lok Sabha elections will stay back for the smooth conduct of the Amarnath Yatra. The Amarnath Yatra ends in about mid-August. So we are now hoping, and we are now maybe looking, EC may be looking at a window of between mid-August till September 30th to hold J&K assembly election. Of course, they have to be held, and last J&K assembly elections were held way back in 2014. It's been almost 10 years, and then, the statehood of the state also is a promise by the center.
In fact, I have a political reaction to play out, but before I do that, I want to bring in Pallavi on this. Pallavi, at a time when the nation is considering one nation, one election as the next big strategy, the timing of the 2024 general election becomes equally crucial, which is why I want to ask you, what is one to make of the kind of attack we've seen coming from Omar Abdullah when he says that so much for running simultaneously?
But I mean, of course, he's the opponent, so he's going to take that dig at the government. But, as we've all been pointing out, Akanksha, Jammu and Kashmir has a huge security concern. And they have been not once, but at least thrice over, if I'm not mistaken, Election Commission team has been going there. Because you also have to ensure something which Arunima also has been reporting on, that you have to ensure the safety not just of the candidate, but every voter who's going to be standing in the line. You cannot have a situation when you are pushing this narrative that things are normal, they're normalizing in Jammu and Kashmir, it's on the road to development projects coming up. And unfortunately, there is even one choke or one fall which takes place in which things go out of control, which is why I think the government doesn't want to be rushed into it. They are going to be doing the state elections, something which I think the Home Minister has made it abundantly clear on the floor of the House.
All right, let's also listen in to what Pawan Khera has to say. As we said, that political reactions are also coming in thick and fast. Let's play out Pawan Khera's reaction.
The election dates are announced. My first question to you is, how ready is Congress and the India Alliance? 17th, tomorrow, the Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra is coming to end. How confident are you and the alliance?
For an election, there are two things that are required. One is the narrative, the issues with which you go to an election, and the other is the resources. As far as the narrative and the issues are concerned, we are more than ready. We are definitely more ready than the BJP, because they are on the defensive, they are on the back foot. We are asking the right questions. We have the right answers also. We are also talking about our vision for the farmers, for the youth, for the women, for different categories of the society. As far as resources are concerned, you know what they are doing to us. They've frozen our accounts. it's a very, it's not a level playing field at all. Yet we'll fight this election with absolute confidence, and we are absolutely confident that we'll form the government.
With just the announcement, we are seeing the Prime Minister is already hitting out at the opposition, especially calling calling it Indie Alliance, and also saying that they only believe in dividing the society. Also, they have no issues. They just believe in abusing the BJP and the Prime Minister.
For a man who's been the Prime Minister for 10 years, what he should be talking about are his achievements in the last 10 years. If he is not able to talk about his achievements and he's attacking the opposition, it shows.
All right, going by the political reactions, well, the fight has just begun. And going by what Prime Minister Modi had to say, this is going to be the grand festival of democracy. And that brings me to the end of this discussion. Many thanks to Aman, Pallavi, Payal and Arunima for joining in. And with that, it's a quick wrap from my end. Thank you so much for watching Battle for Bharat.
Coming to the general elections to the Lok Sabha, जो विश्व का सबसे बड़ा लोकतांत्रिक त्योहार है, सबसे बड़ा लोकतांत्रिक त्योहार, biggest, 543 parliamentary constituencies, of which 84 are reserved for SCs and 47 are reserved for STs. तो इस 543 parliamentary constituencies के महात्योहार में शेड्यूल बताने से पहले सभी वोटर्स का फिर से हाथ जोड़ के आग्रह, अनुरोध, गुजारिश that please join for the voting, come on the day of voting, छुट्टी मनाने ना जाएं, जरूर आ जाएं. Schedule of the Lok Sabha poll, phase 1. We'll do it in 7 phases, as was done last time. 7 phases. Phase 1 will start from 20th March notification, 5 days from now. And last date of withdrawal would be 30th March and date of poll would be 19th of April. इसमें फेज 1 का शेड्यूल एक दिन से हमें 2 बार करना पड़ रहा है, फिर बिहार के लिए वहां एक फेस्टिवल है, तो नोटिफिकेशन की डेट सेम है, लेकिन बस लास्ट डेट ऑफ विड्रॉल हमें 30 मार्च की जगह 2 अप्रैल सिर्फ बिहार की फर्स्ट फेज के लिए करनी पड़ रही है, क्योंकि वहां त्योहार है. और 19 अप्रैल को यहां वोटिंग होगी और पूरी कंट्री में 4 जून को काउंटिंग होगी. सो फेज 1 दिस विल लुक लाइक दिस. ये मैप भी हम आपको प्रोवाइड कर देंगे. अभी ये जो येलो पोर्शन है ये ऐसा दिखाई देगा. तो इसमें जो फेज 1 का जो मैप है, इसमें नॉर्थ ईस्ट, नीचे तमिलनाडु, राजस्थान, सेंटर में छत्तीसगढ़, मध्य प्रदेश और उत्तराखंड, और ऊपर में जम्मू कश्मीर की 1 पार्लियामेंट्री कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी. ये येलो फर्स्ट फेज का आपके सामने में मैप है. सेकंड फेज और फर्स्ट फेज में 21 स्टेट्स जाएंगी पोल में. सेकंड फेज notification will start on 28th of March and date of poll will be 26th of April. Similarly here, in case of J&K, because of the some holiday, the date of one day would be different, date of security of nomination would be different, but date of gazette notification or date of poll would be common. Phase 1 में 21 राज्य पोलिंग में जाएंगे और
Good evening, everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. I'm Shivani Gupta. You're watching CNN News 18's rolling coverage that will continue through this evening on the big day today, where the Election Commission has announced the next 2024 general election schedule. The biggest political battle is upon us. The dates for the Lok Sabha elections have been announced, and like 2019, no surprises this time around as well. Polling will be done in 7 phases across the country, with the first phase being the largest one, or with the maximum constituencies. On April 19 is the first phase. That's the kickstart of the general elections. 102 constituencies going to polls on that day. And then result day is the Super Tuesday on June 4. So this election and voting and result is being held over a period of 44 days, which is the longest since 2004. Political parties are already reacting to the poll announcement. Prime Minister Narendra Modi took to social media saying, the biggest festival of democracy is here. Election Commission has announced the days. We, the BJP NDA, he says, are fully prepared for elections. We're going to the people on the basis of a track record of good governance and service delivery across sectors. Congress and Aam Aadmi Party have also welcomed the announcement of the date. They're also exuding confidence, saying the AAP and the INDA bloc is ready for this battle. So let me just break down. As far as the election dates are concerned, we'll of course get you more of the nitty-gritties of exactly when you could be polling in your constituency or city. But take a look at these big numbers. April 19, phase 1, the biggest one, 102 seats. April 26, phase 2, 89 seats. May 7, 13, 20, 25 are the next 4 phases, 3, 4, 5, 6. And of course, you've got one final phase in June as well, June the 1st. The final phase, the 7th phase with 57 seats. Generally, the elections get over by the first 20 days of May, and then towards the last 10 days, the government is announced and formed. But this time around, the schedule is running a little bit later. So June 4 is the verdict day. Already the announcement has come a week later. So naturally, the entire process has been shift post as well. I want to go across to our magic wall now as well. And let me show you a little bit of the breakup of exactly how the elections are going to pan out. So this is phase 1, mind you, of 2019. So this is the map that I have with me of 2024 as announced by the Election Commission. So you can see these regions went to poll in phase 1 in 2019, and there's a slight change here. Uttarakhand, parts of Rajasthan are going to polls in this phase currently. Rajasthan did not go to polls in the first phase last time around. There are still some areas of Kashmir going to polls, but not these areas that was there last time around. Yes, most of Northeast is still part of phase 1. Sikkim, Meghalaya, you've got Arunachal Pradesh, parts of Assam, Nagaland, Mizoram, Tripura. So they were there last time around too. Uttarakhand, some parts of upper western UP will be there, but they're not, but different seats. Rajasthan, almost half of it is going to polls this time around in phase 1. There are portions of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh going to polls today. But now I come to the big difference. As far as phase 1 this time around is concerned, all of Tamil Nadu is voting in phase 1. So TN is voting in the first phase this time around, while last time around you had Andhra Pradesh and Telangana voting in phase 1. So that's the big difference, and it seems like it is a big difference indeed. So Tamil Nadu generally goes to polls in one phase. This time it's going to polls in the first phase itself. Let me go across to the other filter now, which is phase 2. Okay, so Tamil Nadu went to polls last time around in phase 2, this time in phase 1. Phase 2 this time around has the other half of Rajasthan, lower half of Rajasthan. This was phase 1, this was phase 2. You've got, instead of Tamil Nadu now, Andhra Pradesh, instead of Tamil Nadu, you've got parts of Karnataka, the same as this one, and Kerala going to polls in phase 2 this time around. So there is a little bit of mix-up as far as, or a difference as far as South India is concerned. You've got parts of Maharashtra, because Maharashtra has 5-phase polling, parts of MP and others also going to polls, but I'm not mentioning them. There are multi-phase polling for some of these states, but I think a lot of interest in South India. So Kerala is going to polls in the second phase this time around. It wasn't the case last time around. Let's quickly go across to phase 3 as well. Remember, there are UP, Bihar, West Bengal that are going to polls in all 7 phases. So I'm not going to be mentioning them. Phase 3, Gujarat is the same as last time around. It went to polls in phase 3 last time around as well. You've got parts of Maharashtra. You've got parts of Karnataka, same as last time around. You've got some parts of Chhattisgarh, same as last time around. And there are some parts of MP going to polls as well. So this is not much difference as far as phase 3 is concerned. Very quickly, let's go across to phase 4 as well. All right, phase 4 last time was 71 seats. This time I think it's about 50, 60 seats. Phase 4 2019. What is the phase 4 this time around? So we've got Andhra and Telangana going to polls in phase 4. Some parts of UP and some parts of MP, Maharashtra. So that is it. The big one being AP and Telangana going to polls in phase 4. Phase 5 is going to be many different parts of UP, Odisha, West Bengal, Bihar and others. So I'm not going to go through that. It's not much of a difference. There was no major one state going to polls last time around. So I'll quickly go across to phase 6. All right, phase 6 is Haryana and Delhi, same as last time around. You had Haryana and Delhi go to polls last time around. These are the big single phase states or union territories going to polls in phase 6. Parts of West Bengal, Bihar, Jharkhand, etc. So not going across to that. And very quickly, let's also see phase 7. All right, not much difference as far as phase 7 is concerned either, because last time around also you had Punjab and Himachal go to polls in these phases, plus of course parts of UP, Bihar, West Bengal and others that have multi-phase polling. As I mentioned, UP, Bihar and West Bengal have polling in all 7 phases. Some states have 5, some states have 4 polling dates and some states have 3. So this is the big takeaway. So I think, as I mentioned earlier, the big difference that is emerging is that Tamil Nadu is going to polls first instead of the second, as was the case last time around. Let me go across to my colleague Aman as well, who's joining us in our studios. But before that, let me just quickly toss to the CEC. Rajiv Kumar speaking to the media earlier today, some of the highlights from his press conference where he announced the dates today.
Schedule of the Lok Sabha poll, phase 1. We'll do it in 7 phases, as was done last time. 7 phases. Phase 1 will start from 20th March notification, 5 days from now. And last date of withdrawal would be 30th March and date of poll would be 19th of April. इसमें फेज 1 का शेड्यूल एक दिन से हमें 2 बार करना पड़ रहा है, फिर बिहार के लिए वहां एक फेस्टिवल है, तो नोटिफिकेशन की डेट सेम है, लेकिन बस लास्ट डेट ऑफ विड्रॉल हमें 30 मार्च की जगह 2 अप्रैल सिर्फ बिहार के फर्स्ट फेज के लिए करनी पड़ रही है, क्योंकि वहां त्योहार है. Second phase notification will start on 28th of March and date of poll will be 26th of April. Similarly here, in case of J&K, because of the some holiday, the date of one day would be different, date of security of nomination would be different, but date of गजट नोटिफिकेशन और डेट ऑफ पोल वुड बी कॉमन। फेज 1 में 21 राज्य पोलिंग में जाएंगे और फेज 2 में उसमें से और राज्य जुड़ जाएंगे। फेज 3 would be from 12th of April and date of poll will be 7th of May. इसमें भी टोटल 12 स्टेट्स उस समय में जा रही होंगी और इस फेज में 3 नए राज्य में चुनाव शुरू होगा। इसका मैप कुछ इस तरह से दिखाई देगा। राजस्थान हम कवर कर चुके होंगे, तमिलनाडु कवर कर चुके होंगे, केरला कवर कर चुके होंगे, गुजरात इसमें कवर कर लेंगे, नॉर्थ ईस्ट पूरा कवर कर चुके होंगे और हम नए राज्यों को मिला के 3 इसमें नए राज्य भी जुड़ेंगे। 4th फेज में 18th अप्रैल को गजट नोटिफिकेशन होगा और डेट ऑफ पोलिंग वुड बी 13th of May. Date of counting in the entire country would be 4th of June for all by-elections, for the assembly elections, for the parliamentary elections. इसका मैप कुछ इस तरह का दिखाई देगा। इस समय तक हम इसमें तेलंगाना, आंध्रा, उड़ीसा would start and by that time, other than that, entire South India would be complete, entire Western India would be complete, Northeast would be complete. 5th phase 26 अप्रैल से शुरू होगी और 20 मई तक चलेगी। 20 मई तक डेट ऑफ पोल होगी, बीच में नॉमिनेशन, स्क्रूटनी और विड्रॉल की डेट्स रहेंगी। काउंटिंग ऑफ कोर्स इज 4th of June. It will look like this, which is in front of you, and through phase 5 में 49 constituencies will be going to the poll. Phase 6 में 57 constituencies will go to the poll, starting from the Gazette notification on 29th of April and finishing on 25th of May 2024. इसका मैप कुछ इस तरह का दिखाई देगा कि मोस्टली यूपी, बिहार, बंगाल, उड़ीसा और साथ में कुछ नॉर्थ का पोर्शन चालू रहेगा। लास्ट फेज, 7th phase, notification will be on 7th of May and polling on 1st of June. Last polling would be on 1st of June and counting on 4th, and इस फेज में पूरा पंजाब, हरियाणा भी शामिल रहेगा, बंगाल, बिहार, उड़ीसा।
All right, let's also go across to my colleague, National Affairs Editor Aman Sharma is joining us. I also have guest Siddharth Yadav, spokesperson of the BJP, Ikram Sandhu from the Congress Party. Our experts Nistula Hebar, political editor at The Hindu, and Suman C. Raman, author and political analyst, also joining us. In fact, Suman, why don't I begin with you? Tamil Nadu went to the polls in the 2nd phase last time around. This time around, it's going to polls in the 1st phase. Any comments on that?
I think that, Shivani, this was sort of anticipated. I hate to say this, but the Prime Minister has been campaigning a lot in Tamil Nadu over the last couple of weeks. And there was generally a feeling that Tamil Nadu would probably be going to polls early.
But phase 1 to phase 2 is not that big a difference, is it?
See, look, the thing is that Tamil Nadu last time, though we were phase 2, the polls actually started earlier. So actually the polling was on April 18th in 2019. This time it is on April 19th. It's actually 1 day later, even though this is phase 1. The basic point is that I don't think it makes a big difference whether we are in phase 1 or phase 2. It does make a difference if we are between, say, phase 1 and phase 4. But between phase 1 and phase 2 is just about a week's gap, and I don't see that as a major issue. In Tamil Nadu, that will lead to a bit of urgency because nominations, the notification will come in 3 days. So, parties have to buck up and get their act together because some of the alliances are not fixed even,
But would the opposition see this as some sort of a way to boost the BJP's campaign?
Look, I think that there are certain things which I don't understand in the scheduling, and one is 5-phase elections in Maharashtra. Maharashtra is not known to be a problematic state from the law and order perspective. In fact, many have also remarked on where is the necessity to have a 5-phase elections in Maharashtra. You know, at the most, it could have been a 2-phase elections there. So that seems to be a little strange.
Okay.
See, UP, Bengal, we know, I mean, UP and
Bengal,
are more-
Bihar, they're going in 7
UP,
phases.
Bengal, Bihar,
I'll come to
those
all of
are-
them in bit by bit, but let's talk about Tamil Nadu. Aman, how do you see that? Because this is a big focus area for the BJP this time around.
When Tamil Nadu is polling in phase 1, Shivani, and Kerala is polling in phase 2.
Yes.
So the two big southern states where the BJP has serious ambitions to open its account, our opinion poll said that the NDA could win 5 seats in Tamil Nadu, 2 seats in Kerala. These 2 states are polling in the first 2 phases. So that is very important. Besides that, I think a marathon election. So a 44-day long election, if we also count the result dates, about 47 days. That is pretty long, about 5 to 6 days more than the last election period. So that is that we are only getting the results on June the 4th. The interesting points I found, as the panelist here was saying, Maharashtra last time polled in 4 phases. This time it is polling in 5 phases. Rest of things, there doesn't much change much. Tripura and Manipur only polled in 1 phase. This time, obviously, they're polling in 2 phases because Manipur has seen unrest. What I found interesting in there is that UP, Bihar, West Bengal, polling still in 7 phases like the last time, but obviously the West Bengal has more focus this time because of the violence which had erupted there in Sandesh Kalyan, where the EC team went there. It also raised concerns. The big question, of course, is JNK. Why no state assembly elections being held alongside the Lok Sabha elections in JNK, which the likes of Omar Abdullah and other JNK parties now criticizing. I think the Election Commission has gone by the availability of forces. What I'm told is that about 635 companies are being given to JNK for a Lok Sabha election, but if an assembly election also had to be held simultaneously, 700 more companies would need to have been sent. That would have been not possible because 900 companies are already going to West Bengal.
Okay, let me also open this up to our political representative, Siddharth Yadav. 7 phases, there is some unrest already emerging as far as the opposition is concerned. Yes, it was 7 phases last time around as well, but they're not very happy with the fact that it's a protracted exercise already delayed by a week and 7 phases yet again. Particularly in states like West Bengal, there was a demand before the announcement was made already that it should be lesser phases because it helps the BJP somehow.
I feel, having this kind of a reaction has now become a fashion for the opposition party, because be it anything that is introduced, anything that is announced, opposition party just has to come out and do nitpicking on things that don't even exist. The Election Commission has very vividly thought about the election process. The Election Commissioner has also given a very detailed press conference and has also laid out the entire plan and roadmaps of how we are going to hold the biggest festival of democracy that happens in the world. The highest numbers of voters are going to go to polls. We need to ensure a lot of things as citizens of this country so that the polls happen in a manner that we can celebrate our democracy. Even in this, if the opposition party has to come out and now say why this, why that 1 week later, I still remember the first government in 2014 was formed on 26th of May. The oath was taken then. The second was taken on 30th of May. Now the results are coming on the 4th, so the oath will take around another week later. There's nothing new in this. Seven phases of polls were there earlier. 7 phases of polls are there now. A lot of things have to be thought through, and then such decisions have to be taken. A large deployment of forces, the climate has to be taken into consideration, the distance between the polling states, all of that has to be thought through. I think it is now time that everybody, and definitely on such occasions, everybody, all political parties and leaders should come together. And they should say that we are heading towards the festival of our democracy. Let's all unite together so that we can have a good election, so that the voters can decide whom to vote for. Everybody can go and present their views.
Okay, so is there some needless nitpicking